Boom, 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 boom. I'm back.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Rod the Professional. Welcome to the RGT Podcast, episode 30. We are live here on YouTube.com. Excuse the lateness of everybody else. They will be joining us momentarily. Until then, though, we're just going to talk and relax. How's everybody doing?
I'm good, bro. How you been, man?
I'm straight, big dog.
What's up to everybody in the chat, man? How y'all doing?
Yeah, shout out to everybody that was already here waiting. I did not get a chance to reply to everybody because I literally had to eat this food while I was waiting. I was like, okay, I definitely need to do this. I'm
still waiting for my food. I'm having some skirt steak today, so you know how that goes.
Nah, this man right here. Hey, what's going on, everybody in the chat? I know Ian asked to get on here last and I couldn't get him on here, but I got another spot if you want in here, Ian.
Yeah, man, come and join in, bud.
Yeah, if you want in here, definitely. Let's get going here. 1 second. All right, my bad about that. But yeah, what can we do? What to do here? Where's my? All right, we'll go ahead and start this. Go ahead and get that intro out there, Carlos.
Hey, man, once again, man, it's your boy Type R87, a.k.a. Carlos Fernandez, gamer by choice, not by trend, RGT, episode 30. My God, the big 3-0.
Yes, the big 30. Indeed. Go ahead, Messiah. I know he was live earlier, but I had to make sure he got in here.
Oh, yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for the Vine. Appreciate it. Carlos, how you doing, brother? Hopefully everybody had a good week.
How you doing, my brother?
Brian, thanks for coming over to the coffee podcast this morning. I appreciate it.
So, that's the name of it now?
What's happening?
All right. Yeah, 30 episodes, man. 30 episodes. What you guys say about that?
Oh, wow. You said 30 strong.
30 strong. Yeah. Yes, sir. 30 strong. We have made the 30 strong here on this channel. All right. And we have Foxy.
Yeah. She can't make no noise.
She's going to blast that music strong. Look at him.
What's the film in your hand?
He's in that hip hop mode right now, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna do it like in 2 minutes.
Nah, you
do. Let me get my headset.
Yeah. While Foxy recuperates, let's go ahead and what's up?
Oh, let me turn my shit down. Can you hear it again?
Yeah, we can hear it. Turn down a little bit.
I love my hip hop, man.
There you go.
My old hip hop.
Yeah, I know. You blast everything you on.
No, it's quiet. You know what it is? It's quiet, bro, in here, but I think my mic is so sensitive. Here,
that's probably what it is.
It's neighbor friendly in here. Like, my neighbor can't hear it. It's neighbor friendly. Like, there's no booming, loud noise. It's just, I think, because the mic is so good or whatever.
That makes sense. I had a pair of headphones like that one time. They were sensitive. I go and get that intro out there. Even though everybody knows who Foxy Games UK is, but go right ahead.
Oh, we're live already, bro.
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, live and direct.
Oh, damn. Oh, man. Oh, what? I'm supposed to do my intro now. All right. Oh, you called me off guard. Can someone else go first? I'll go last.
You want to go last? All right, go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, hi, this is Ian, and let's have a good discussion.
All right, go ahead. Now you're up.
Now you're last. Now you're last.
Wait. How many people are in here?
It's they already did their intros.
You know what, bro? I'm not even looking at it yet. You know what I'm doing, bro? All right, never mind. Yeah, it's Foxy Games UK. Shout out to
oh, man.
You know what?
I told you it's gonna be lit, man.
I dare you to post this. That's gonna be funny as shit. I swear to God.
I'm all over the shop, bro. I'm all over the store. I feel like I'm in the dollar store, and I'm just anyway. All right, listen. Shout out all Foxy Games UK subscribers. Yeah, just I hope you enjoy my content. I've been really trying to be more consistent, put more effort in, and what the hell was that? My ears nearly got stabbed to death there.
I don't know who Mike that was. That was weird.
I don't know, but I was saying Yeah, I've been trying really to up the tempo of content on my channel. Unfortunately, it comes at a cost. It means I don't get to play games as much as I want to because I have other things going on in life, believe it or not, outside of my channel, outside of gaming. So, you know, people want to know I'm still alive. So at the end of the day, when I do videos every day, I hardly get to play any games, sadly. In fact, Kid Smooth tweeted he hasn't played a game since Wednesday, and I felt kind of sorry for him because I know exactly where he's coming from. So I had to hit the like button and retweet him.
Kid Smooth too busy making diss tracks.
Oh, God.
He has got kids as well, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got kids.
And a wife. So, you know, you got to give the man...
That's true. Shout out to Kid Smooth.
It's only 24 hours in a day, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you use up half of that sleeping.
That's true. That is true. 30 episodes, Foxy. 30 episodes. This is number 30. What you guys say about that?
30 episodes.
Yes, sir. This is RGT episode 30. We made
That's great, man. I mean, tell me when it's like 52, so it's a year.
Oh God, here we go. You're gonna rain on the parade.
No, but it's like telling me you've been 6 months on YouTube. Tell me you've been on a year. Do you know what I'm saying?
Let's get into these topics. This man right here. Ladies and gentlemen, Rod the Professional. Welcome to the RGD Podcast, episode 30. Shout out to everybody that's already here on the panel, and shout out to everybody that's already joining us and watching us live. Definitely hit that like button. We do appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and have a nice discussion. There's a lot to talk about. Next generation pretty much seems like it's around the corner, and there's a lot to discuss going into that. So, first topic, I'm just going to bring it out here since this was the first one that pretty much started everything and got everybody out here. Project Xcloud. Who wants to go first?
Oh, I will. I think it's a real good idea. I think if you're Microsoft, you want to put as many logs out as you can. Hopefully, one catches fire. So again, it's I said last year, Microsoft, in order to survive with the Xbox, has got to do some type of streaming apparatus. They've got to they're not moving up units. Streaming helps create new revenue for whoever. Don't care if you're a musician. You're a musician and you got trash. You can't get a record contract. You can just go directly to a streaming service and just put your shit up there. You know, then advertise, hey, look, our stuff's on iTunes or whatever. So good luck to them for doing it. And I'm gonna read something very important, which Microsoft said. It says compute in the cloud and stream to any device I'm on, allowing me to play with anybody. So I look, great tech giving you access to the games you want to play on the device you want to play on. So, if I'm on the Nintendo Switch and I want to play Halo, Microsoft's going to make that possible. If I'm on the PlayStation and I want to play Forza, Microsoft's going to make an offer to make that possible. Okay. So, because that's the device that I want to play on. and that's the key. That's the key.
Oh man!
That is
what emphasis on I want to play.
So they will offer a streaming service to both these companies. Now, whether both the companies jump on it, we'll have to wait and see. But I do think PS4 remains relevant because Xbox is streaming games to them. That's one way to keep PS4 relevant.
So
not have to really support it.
So can we officially call ourselves pony bots?
I don't know. I mean, it's called like it is. I mean, it's a way for everybody to maintain what they want. Microsoft wants to be Netflix, and the last time I looked, I've got an Insignia TV in my bedroom, and that's got Netflix on it. And I got a Samsung TV in my living room that's got Netflix on it. I mean, Netflix doesn't give a damn that it's on Insignia and Samsung. They just want me to have access to it. Now, does that mean I'm going to activate it? And guess what? I can activate both units on one account. I don't have to call Insignia and say, hey, look, Insignia, I'm on a different Netflix account.
Yeah, everybody knows the amount of topics because we're going to have fun with this podcast, this episode 30. We're going big with this one.
But that's the way I feel about it. I think it's a good idea. I think if somebody was, look, if I'm getting up every morning and somebody's knocking on my door and they're kicking me in the nuts, the way Sony kicked Microsoft in the nuts this generation, I'm not going to answer the door anymore. Can't beat them, join them.
Pretty much, man.
All right.
Yo, Melon Matt, what's good, bro?
What's good? Ian, what you guys say about it?
I personally, I think for some people it might be a good idea. As I've said time and time after, if you've got shitty internet, and what happens if the servers go down, then you can't play the game. And the ones that will get the streaming box or stick or Fire Stick, they probably don't care because they probably got. But the die-hard fans won't want it because a lot of people still like their physical copy, and to them it's not their game anymore. And as I said, once the servers go down, you can't play the game. So plus, as I said, the internet's rubbish. So fair enough, some people do have great internet, but yeah, I don't think we're ready for it yet. I think we're a good 15-20 years away from it. I just think it's too inconsistent just now.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, from my perspective and from where I live at here in the United States, fiber optics is one of the most expensive forms of cable networking that you can practically not afford right now. I think the yardage per foot for a fiber optic cable, that's like around, like even for a 100-foot cable is upwards to like $1,100 per foot. So just imagine how much you need to use in order to have a stable network for everybody to actually stream on a good 1 megabit to 3 megabits to 10 megabits to whatever the network servers are actually providing the actual streaming output. It takes a lot, and it's gonna cost a lot of money, first of all, and not everybody's gonna jump ship at first hand. It's gonna take them a while to actually make that stride.
Okay. Foxy, what you guys say about Xcloud?
Well, look, as long as it's a choice and it's not some
mandatory,
it's not a totalitarian way of getting people to give up ownership of their games and just buy into the whole service. Because look, let's be honest, you got Netflix, but you can also buy the movie on Blu-ray. Exactly. You've got Netflix, but you can also rent the movie on DVD. You've got Spotify, you've got all these different music streaming services, but you can still buy just about a CD. Okay? Now, CDs came out in 1984 to the mass market. So I agree with Ian that we are 15 to 20 years away from really that even becoming a reality. And even then, there'll still be physical media because there will still be millions of people that will want to collect and keep and digest and build collections. And as long as there's millions of people, then the market will sustain itself. But the problem is here. A lot of people are thinking, especially Ian, I'll take up on Ian's point actually. And a lot of people are thinking like Ian is, that, if you have no internet, you can't play the game. Well, if you're streaming, that is certainly true. But if it's a cloud assisted game, all that will happen is the game will go back to its current hardware state, and you won't get those extra destruction. You won't get the extra AI. You won't get the extra NPCs on screen. You won't get the big explosions. You just get what the machine can handle. There's a difference between streaming games and cloud-assisted gaming. I hope people realize that. Streaming games, I'm not for. I'm not for cloud streaming. I'm not for it for two reasons. I like to own games.
Right.
Two, you cannot play the game because you don't know the game. If the internet or their servers or something goes wrong, or even on your end, your internet might go down. You can't play the game. But I don't mind owning my game and having cloud assisting it with all kinds of effects like Crackdown 3 is reportedly doing. Okay, I don't mind that because if my internet goes down or there's lag, it's not going to affect my game because all it's going to be is draw distance stuff and background stuff. You might find a few NPCs disappearing off your screen for a second, like when your internet plays up, and then they'll all appear again. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but if you don't have internet, you can, if you don't have internet, who doesn't have internet in the West?
Yeah.
But if you don't, if you're not into cloud or all that stuff, you still be able to play the game. It's not a problem as long as it remains that way. I don't have a problem with cloud at all.
Yeah. Okay. Carl, switch your mic, man. That's your mic.
Yeah, there's a lot of
My bad.
that hurts my ears, man. It's really loud.
You that or mute yourself. Didn't do it. All right. Anyway, shout out to Flaffy 1101 here for the super chat. He said, in the future, 8K display movies will be on disc. I do believe that is possible eventually.
I think that'll be a long time.
That'll be a long
Physical
time.
media is going to be relevant until everything. Like I said, man, it takes a while for people to companies, especially big companies, to actually implement any kind of new hardware or any kind of new late technologies to actually be set afoot to the overall mass public. It takes a while. So this whole iteration of just, it's going to be streamed, it's going to be cloud-based servers. It's a lot of limitations that they have to really, really consider before going on a full-on assault with just making it stream only. The physical hardware is always going to be there for that simple purpose, just so that it can be a fallback for any miscues or anything that is not being implemented into the cloud or into the system itself. So in a sense, in a way, I do see where Foxy is going with the whole cloud base and how it's substantially not as great as it should be, but end of the day, physical trumps over anything, because hey, you're gonna need an actual console to play actual physical disc and games. It doesn't change the fact that they're pushing forward for this narrative because they're not, doing well greatly in sales. So yeah, kudos to Microsoft for being the innovators that they are for their own ways, but it's been done before. GameFly did it a couple of years ago. It's not nothing new. It's just the technology is not up to par with the actual plans, and that's where the major issue is at, and that's what I see.
Okay.
Can I just say on the back of what you just said real quick? There's also a lot of I can see the negatives, but the only negative is somebody who's just whining and complaining about cloud gaming when they have no intention of using it or buying into it anyway. So shut up. Nobody wants to hear from you. You're not if you don't care, don't talk. That's the way I see it. People keep saying, I don't care about this, I don't care about that. Yet they're the ones doing all the talking. Well, stop talking. You don't care. Let me finish. So, there are positives and negatives. The positive is your old hardware that is still able to connect to the internet, right? There's less obsolescence now with old hardware. PS3, if you're someone who's not been gaming since the PS3 because you can't afford it or other issues, then your PS3 is still going to be useful now because it's connected to the internet. Your Xbox 360, your OG Xbox One, your Xbox One S, which Project Xcloud is actually based on Xbox One S hardware, not Xbox One X. So I want people to know that. They made it for the lowest. They made it for the lowest Xbox One hardware so that it worked. Do you understand properly? Okay, so your PS3, your standard vanilla PS4, when they eventually phase that out, if you don't want to pay for the PS5 or you're not interested in, you just gone off paying for all this hardware and you don't care about ownership, then your console is going to last you a lot longer because you'll be able to stream through it now. You know what I'm saying? So I just wish the people who claim to not care about cloud would stop trying to be the front line. Stop trying to be like the general. Right. The anti-cloud establishment, because you don't care about it anyway. So why don't you just pipe down, sit down?
Okay.
Yeah, man.
One thing I had to say about this, if this is the direction that everybody wants to go, right? There needs to be a few things they need to change. Number one, them charging you for online needs to definitely go. The paywall to access your games needs to go. If you're going to have everybody be always connected with these consoles and everything of that nature, then there needs to be even more options. For example, PS Plus should be an option from this point forward if this is going to be the way you go about it. So basically, it'll be treated as an additional service with it. You know what I'm saying? So basically, if you do not want the free games, you don't necessarily have to buy this for it. You can already have it based. You can just play your games right off the bat. That's how it should be, regardless, with this whole service. I'm not really a fan of the paywall at all. I'm just not.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're not gonna buy into it, though, are you, Ryan? You're gonna be like me, aren't you? You're gonna be like me and other people. You're just gonna continue with the traditional console setup, right? You're gonna enjoy the power of the cloud through the game that you own on disc, right, or digitally, knowing that you can play it if your internet goes down,
right?
You know, it's all benefit for us. So at the end of the day, I'm just saying, like, if you're like me, and this is not to you, Ryan. This is going out to La La Land. If you're like me, okay, and you only intend to buy physical and digital ownership and play games natively, then stop complaining. Because who are you complaining for? It's not going to affect you. And the person who's going to choose this service wants to choose the service. So why are you hating about having choice? As I say, if it's nefarious and this is a scam to get everybody to give up ownership down the road, we can all vote with our wallets because we run this thing. They're not them. It's our money that keeps them afloat. So the problem is people are so weak that they like to complain about boycotting, but they're secretly buying. They're secretly spending. But they're not telling you. All they're doing is complaining, saying, I hate this, I hate that, I don't want this. But they're the ones who are going to be the first to buy it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like Call of Duty. Every year I hate it. And they end up buying it anyway.
The main ones getting it. Yeah, sure. The matter of this, the reason why people were speaking out the way they are, they do not want this to become the norm. Now, again, there's going to be people who will overhype anything, right? Some people will indeed try the service. And let's say if it does blow up, right? Let's say if it gains a following and people really start, jumping on board with it, right? They'll start advertising on their channel. Some people will actually buy it. Others will actually, do walkthroughs and all that shit with it. They don't necessarily want that to become a norm. Because remember, all it takes is a few people to affect a bunch. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's the right kind of people. When it's the exact, you know what I'm saying? When it's the right type of individuals who have that particular audience. Let's say Ali A, for example, who's a big YouTuber here on YouTube. He's like got 15 million subs. Let's say he starts advertising these consoles when they're always online. He has a big following and he gets a lot of views. This particular individual can definitely encourage more others to follow that, format. So I'm saying this right here doesn't need to be the norm at all. We need to be traditional. But again, I understand if it's an option, that's fine. Options are always fine. You know what I'm saying? Options will always benefit you in the long run. But if it's mandatory and they're taking away X amount of things, then that's not the future anybody wants for these
I'll be fighting. Listen, I'll be standing right beside you and fighting with you if they're trying to do a scam and it becomes like a dystopian totalitarian future. I will be right beside you, right, fully armored up with my Rambo outfit on, grenade in mouth. I'll be there, bro. But until that day, I don't see there's anything to be concerned about. As I say, it's us, the consumer, who spends the money. If we all, the problem is, right, a lot of people got a really good rap, that they got bars, but they don't live according to their bars. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're rap good, but they don't, they're hypocrites. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
It's like telling everyone to give to charity, but you've never given to charity.
Right, they never.
It's like someone saying, oh, don't buy this, don't buy that, but they're buying it. It's like someone pretending they're not in the closet, but they're deep in the closet.
Right.
I know what I'm saying? I need to get Farrakhan up in here, because Farrakhan will educate you mofos.
Right. Shit. All right. Damn. My bad. That's Carlos mic there, but
Carlos, man, I need, what? I'm gonna go if it carries on. Because it's too loud. It sounds like someone's kicking me in the head, bro.
Yeah, like really gotta fix that. Like,
I feel like head kicks. It feels like head kicks.
Yeah, it just came out left field. Like, it's like it goes out like the most weird moments he does it. Anyway, but again, my stance on it, again, I'm with the consumer. I don't believe this should be the norm at all. Because right now they kind of got us at their mercy, right, Foxy? They kind of got us at their mercy. Like right now, we do not know. They kind of do.
They haven't got me at my mercy.
No, they kind of got those at people at mercy right now with this. The reason why I say they got you at their mercy right now, first of all, you're still paying for online. You're still paying for all this. You do not know if they'll drop this.
You choose to do that, though. You're choosing to do that. Look, it don't matter what they throw at you. If you continue to pay for it, don't complain because you are choosing to enable them. If they listen, this is why I say to you, they haven't got me under the barrel. They ain't got me at no mercy because I'll just stop buying games and I'll play retro.
Okay. When is your when's your PSN or Xbox Live renew?
What do you mean?
Like when is it due to be renewed?
I don't know because I don't use it.
Oh, you don't.
I don't know. I don't care.
You don't have PS Plus?
I do, but I don't care about it. I've only got it.
Yeah,
I've only got it, right? I bought it for a year. I think it runs out in November, but I bought it for a year last November, right? Only because I was told about all the improvements being made to the game offerings. Okay, and they have made those improvements, and I've more than got my money's worth from all the games that I wouldn't have bought anyway that I wanted to play.
Okay. What I was
but when it runs out, I don't care because I don't rely on it for nothing.
Okay. What I was getting at that is this though. You say it runs out in November, right? November. They basically get now. Let's say hypothetically, the consoles are already out, right? And they're already charging you. You still require the online for everything plus the subscription. You're kind of already at their mercy because you already have, paid up for one. Number two, they have the power to really lock you out of anything they wanted to. Because one thing is for certain, too, when it comes to these consoles, since they're always going to be connected and we're going to be like pretty much relying on a server. They're going to be uptight. Like everybody's going to be uptight on every side, especially when the way they like control the market in terms of like their fans.
How many times people relying on a server? How? I don't understand. What do you mean?
Well, we're going to be on their service. We're going to be on their server, right? We're not necessarily going to be owning these games.
I'm not going to be on their server.
No,
who are you talking about?
I'm talking about people. I'm talking about the streaming service, like the streams. When we're on that service, we're at their.
But you say we a lot. Who's we? Who are you talking about?
Those who bought it, pretty much. Those who.
Why do you care about what they do with their money?
I'm getting to the point. Those who are on the service, are going to be at the mercy of these particular companies. Now, how many times people report people on PSN and Xbox Live and where else, right, for inappropriate shit and all that? First of all, Sony and Microsoft and all of them are going to be more uptight with that. They're going to have more access to you to do these things. Number two, they have complete access to what you own and whatever you want to play, especially when it comes to these IDs, right? When it comes to DRM and your content IDs, you're going to be completely synced to a server.
I don't care about those people. Do you know why? They chose to do that. There's a big agreement that you can read between you and Sony, you and Microsoft, you and Nintendo, you and anybody. Big lot. If you ain't got time to read it, that's your problem. If you buy a house, if you go to a bank manager, right, you take out a loan and you didn't read the small print and you're paying back 3, 4, 5, 6 times the amount you took, yeah, that's a you problem. Why do I feel sorry for you if you haven't been diligent? Well, right? If you continue to pay for things, right, and they continue to treat you like shit, then that's your problem.
Okay.
You should stop paying them. Don't give them no more money.
Okay. But one thing has been proven when it comes to those people. Now, you said it's a you problem, right? For those people, believe it or not, can have an impact on whether it becomes mandatory or not. At the end of the day, those of us who will buy the traditional console, we're going to be part of a minority regardless. There's always going to be the casuals. At the end of the day, the casuals make up the majority of these console owners, right? It's going to be on that. If the casuals bite the hook for these streaming consoles and they actually go and sync up with these servers and have their accounts up, with the cloud and everything of that nature, they will definitely follow suit and do this if they can do so.
I just feel like you gamble when you buy these things. Everything you buy that is attached to a service is a gamble. You know, your cable box is a gamble. It won't always work. You're going to have to wait for an engineer to come out and fix it. That could be a week you've lost, right? Normally, you get compensation. Like everything's a gamble. You buy a car and it breaks down 10 minutes after you left the showroom. I mean, where does it start and where does it end? Everything is a gamble. You get out of bed, you could have a heart attack, man. Anything can happen. The sun could explode. The earth could wither away. I mean, I don't know where this is going. I mean, I care about what I spend my money on and how I spend my money and what entertainment value I get for it. I don't care about how other people spend their money. I don't care about other people complaining when they knew damn well this is what they were buying into. There's no point complaining after you've signed up. Like, what's the point? You're already signed into it. If you don't like it, don't sign up to it.
Yeah,
and people in the chat are calling me a stubborn old fool, but this stubborn old fool has got common sense. And if people can't see common sense, then the world is in a dire state of moral decline. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay. One thing is for certain, though, too, when it comes to casuals, they don't do what we do. They don't necessarily look into consoles. They usually rely on YouTubers or X amount of things. They don't necessarily look into these consoles in terms of what they provide. They just see it and look at the price. So if Sony and Microsoft do release these streaming-based consoles and they can release them cheaper than just the base hardware one that you'll get, you know, that's a standalone, I'm pretty sure Sony and Microsoft could get them into their pockets with this. And they could follow suit with anything they want at this point.
Yeah, they can, and they're a business, and their own self-interest is what they care about, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting. Microsoft care about casuals go with the price. Yeah, casuals, when it comes to price, that's a big factor to them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, but you got to be aware of what you're buying. I agree. I agree that, you know, when you read your terms of services, I don't know why people don't read that. They just check it.
Same thing you said about cell phones. Same thing you said about cell phones.
They're retarded. I mean, you should know what you're buying before you buy it. I do some things on 4K TVs, and you know, a lot of people saying, "Is this a good TV?" And it's like, well, you should know this before you're the one that's spending $600-700. How come you don't know these things? You know, so it's just, these are questions you should have asked before you drop that kind of money. And you know, just, you know, I laugh. You know, that's why I laugh at you know, some of the people that they'll go out and buy a shitty TV. Yeah.
Ryan, I'm gonna ask your permission to do something. I'm not gonna do it immediately, okay? But I'm gonna ask you permission because you have given me moderation controls. There's one particular, well, actually two people in the chat that I'm very close to blocking right now. I've put them on timeout, right? But they're still giving it. You know, they're still acting like a total dickhead. So what I might do, I'm gonna ask you permission if they get disgusting. Like, because British has already been bought into it, where I'm from, my nationality and all that. It's getting personal and it's getting silly. So I'll just block them. But because they might be your subscribers, I want to ask you first.
Yeah, let me just say, hey guys, come on, respect the panel. Just chill. Respect the panel, guys. We're all gamers. We're talking gaming. No need to be too, you know, over the top.
Well, if they're saying that, Fox, they're insulting me too, because I'm a Brit too.
Yeah,
exactly. They're being very insulting because I have my own opinion and I'm not a sheep. I'm not part of the sheep party like they are. You know what I'm saying?
Guys, at the end of the day, we're gamers. Everybody's gonna have a different opinion. Everybody's gonna have a different outlook. That's what a podcast, everything is about. It's not all about people following and having the exact same mentality. Okay, everybody's gonna have a difference. So relax.
End of the day, it's just an opinion, people. It's not really anything factual. We're gamers just like you. We like to talk about gaming. And if we have any kind of information that we see fit to just let you know about it, just enjoy it. And at the end of the stream, if you have any questions, we'll gladly answer them. But please have a little bit of common courtesy and a little bit of decency in the chat. You can talk, but don't get too hype.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Like, you ever heard me say, "Shut up, you dumb American," when I didn't agree with you? You ever heard me put down Americans? Ever?
Nah, man.
Nah.
Or anyone from anywhere? Canadians, Europeans. Africans. I don't put people down on their nationality. I put people down on their stupidity.
Right.
Facts.
Okay. Let's get back to the gaming topic. Anyway, as far as this whole streaming only thing, I mean, I don't think we're ready, even though Google did show off an impressive demo, no latency whatsoever. The damn thing ran flawless, right? It ran flawless. I don't think we're ready. 10 megabits, download, especially when it comes to Microsoft's Xcloud. Not a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that.
And once again, it goes back to the actual wiring in the infrastructure itself. Some people don't understand. There are people that there are still companies that are still using DSL lines. They're still using old dial-up lines. You need a high latency-free fiber optic network in order to have that gaming experience run smoothly. Google has invested into a fully fiber optic network, so they have the capacity to actually do this. Now, Microsoft, on the other hand, they're going to have to actually try to see if they can invest into a full-on fiber optic network that can deal with those issues. Now, that being said, yes, that the internet service provider, which is your cable company, should be the only one charging you for this service. Yes, that should be the norm. But knowing how greedy people get, especially corporations like Microsoft and Sony, they're going to charge you for that. So that's where this whole pay to stream kind of mentality is going to set a foot for what's coming up next.
Yeah, I don't think we're ready though. It's just like, especially when we take into account that a lot of these games require bandwidth in general. Because remember, what if we start streaming fighting games? Y'all think we're ready to start streaming fighting games?
Nah, man.
Nah, not with that.
All right, look, Google, Microsoft, and Apple are all where they are because they created something that we needed that we didn't know. So for people to say we're not ready, that's not true. They already know that you're not ready, but you will be ready in 3 years. They know it because they're the ones, like Carlos said, laying down the fiber. So they know it's going to take them X amount of time. And once more fiber goes out, the more it's out, the cheaper it'll get. And so it's going to happen. People, now again, we're consumers. We don't have to buy it.
We don't.
Let's keep it 100%. It can come out. It can be $5.
Keyword. We don't have to buy it yet.
We don't have to buy it. But eventually, people are going to buy it. The Google stuff, I'm going to look into. It's Google. It's a quality product. So of course I'll look at it. But at the end of the day, go ahead. Go ahead, Foxy.
Can I just say on what you just said with Google?
Go ahead.
If there is a war, actually there is a war. I'm going to do a Conor McGregor impression. If there's a war, and there's going to be a fucking war, if there's a war between me and Google, I win. Not really. No.
Nice.
No, but seriously, look. No, here's the thing. In all seriously, right? If there is a war up in the clouds between all of these companies, Google wins. If they really want it, Google wins.
Yeah.
Google wins hands down. Google can trash Microsoft if they wanted. They got more power. They got more money. They got more everything. You understand? They could stomp Microsoft into the ground. They could stomp Sony into the ground. They could stomp them all. But they won't. They won't stomp them. Do you know why Google won't stomp them? Because you need a collective to grow a new industry. You can't just have one. It doesn't work. It's like VR. VR. You need a lot of companies involved in VR. If it was just Sony, it would have failed already.
Yeah, I agree. Google is they're too big, they're too strong, and if they've already showed a device running 1080p 60 with high settings, then it's over. Shut it down. It's over.
Right.
There's no reason to get. If you're gonna do that, and you have people now saying that. And again, these simps online, my God, they're like bedwetters. They're literally what happens is that they're like, well, Microsoft still has Forza and Halo and Gears, and I laughed and I said, yeah, well, so does PC. So again, Google is standing out, and you're not. You're not relevant anymore. So again, this is why Phil Spencer says, the idea that media is locked behind a wall, to one device, that's total absent to me. That's why he says that. Okay, because he sees it coming. But yeah, I agree with Fox. I mean, Google, there were people online last week saying, well, Microsoft is worth this and Google's only worth that. Like, yeah, if you take all their assets, Microsoft is going to be worth more. Guess what? Microsoft was invented in 1977. So they have more
Google
assets.
Came
Google
out
has more cash.
Google came out in 95, man. Like, people
Google has more cash than they know what to do with, so they created a console. So it's silly. It's over. Fox is right.
Go on. Sorry. Go on.
I was just saying, if they want to, Google can take down Oracle, the company, the giant tech company, if they want. But Fox is right. In order for it to grow, it's like Blu-ray. You just couldn't have Sony putting out Blu-ray. You had Panasonic doing it. You had JVC doing it. In order to grow the market, everybody had to get a taste. So that's what's going to happen here. They won't do it, but they can. For these people to run around and say they can't, they're crazy. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. But then again, these are the same people that said Switch was going to fail. These are the same people that said the X is going to give it to you.
Oh no! And these are the same people. These are the same people that they think they're gurus of gaming, but really don't know jack squat shit when it comes to common sense.
They're retarded.
What's up,
it's like Vieira Tron in the chat said this morning. Talking to them is like arguing with a preschooler who's got the best looking lunchbox.
Yeah, crazy. I wouldn't even say that. It's like talking to your wall.
All right, so I'm gonna ask the panel.
You know why?
Which?
Sorry.
Each and one of you, what kind of stuff you have in your lunch boxes? Like, you want to trade? I'll trade you my graham crackers for an apple, if you want to do that.
Oh, I'm keeping my graham crackers, baby. You can have it. I know what you're saying, but I agree with you. Google is they are synonymous with quality products. Now, people are like they're not a threat to Microsoft. Really? I'm pretty sure Microsoft has a search engine online called Bing. Well, guess what? So does Google. I'm pretty sure Microsoft makes tablets. Guess what? So does Google.
Do you know why Google is? Do you know why Google is the biggest? Do you know why Google could crush Microsoft? It's not just because of technology and know-how. It's more about, if you look at all the richest companies in the world right now, they've all sprung up over the last decade, right? Or 20 years, and they all deal in information. Information is power, and that's where all the money is. That's why Google is big, because they barter in information.
Exactly.
They know everybody's. They know what you're doing. They know everything you do. Everyone who uses their their tools, right? They know you're on YouTube. You're on all these social media sites they're connected to. They know everything about you, and that's worth money, worth a lot of money.
That is true. What's up, Fonz? I saw you jump in. What's up, man?
Hi, Fonz.
Fonzarelli, what's up, my brother?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
I know he jumped in there. He was like, "Oh shit, it's a war. Let me sit back for a second."
I just, this week has been a very interesting week for me.
It is.
Twitter, getting attacked from a particular group of people over some statements I had made that, in my opinion, is just being a conscious consumer. Yet some people don't want to hear about that. When somebody makes a statement like, hey, next generation, I'm going to hold off on a certain console because I want to make sure the games I want to play are on that console first before I make that purchase. That's just being a conscious consumer, in my opinion.
Right.
But people, when they hear that, they're like, how dare you? The pitchforks come out and they come after you. And it's like, dude.
Oh, you mean the cults? The cults?
Yeah.
That's really what gaming has turned into when it comes to this ignorant shit. Like, it's turned into a cult for so many people. It's like, you cannot say these following words in this particular side. It's like, chill. It's gaming.
Yeah. And when I sit there and I talk about games, okay, and I say, this game's trash, I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about other people. I don't go on Twitter and start attacking people for saying they like a game. I don't say you're stupid for liking that game or anything of that sort. But because I said that I don't like a particular game or I don't want to try a game based on my previous experience with the the game before it, which was Assassin's Creed Origins. People were trying to get me to play Odyssey, and I'm like, look, dude, there's so much about Origins I didn't like, and I've already heard that same stuff is in Odyssey, and I don't care to play it. I'm done with that series.
Yeah,
and people got pissed. Like, how dare you? How dare you be done with that?
I saw all day arguing with I think it was Dealer. Dealer claimed that it doesn't have grinding. I'm like, Dealer, you're my homie, but come on, man.
Here's the thing about here's the thing about the situation. You can ask each and every one of them. Do you have to do any of the side missions? Can you just do the main story? No, you can't do the main story and get through the game. Wow. That is my biggest problem with Origins. I did not like that grind with those shitty ass side missions. You could say that the side missions were good for you, and that's fine. But man, I'm not about, doing some weird side missions where I got to keep going, doing the same fetch quest, picking up some guy out of a fort, walking him out, putting him down, letting him walk away. I'm not doing that type of shit anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of side missions in the new one.
How did you go from? I don't get that with Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed has so much promise. It's just they ruined it with milking it. They saw the money and they just literally just started making up shit as they went. That's all.
It's Assassin's Creed by name, but not by gameplay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more like The Witcher. Like, honestly,
that's
like I'm playing a version of The Witcher. It's still fun to play, but it's just.
But getting back to the whole thing with the not being a conscious consumer, because I think everybody should make up their own minds. If you want to buy a console based on whatever your preference is, that's fine. I have no problem with that. However, I do have a problem with gamers gamers today that tell me that the main reason they are in this hobby is anything other than gaming. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that because you're either lying to yourself and lying to others, or you're just being a corporate slave. And I don't want to hear that bullshit because, and I know my Xbox, brothers out there that are cool with me don't like to hear this, but it's the damn truth. You've got like Dealer. He'll tell you the main reason is the games, but those other reasons are important. Like, the console itself, the features, the services, that's all important. I get that. There's an importance level to each and everybody out there, but that should never be above the games. I'm sorry, a console's UI should not be above the games. And people on Twitter argued with me and said, well, the UI is above the games for me. I'm like, what?
What?
That is the problem.
Wait, what's up with the logic, man?
That's fucked up.
That don't make no sense.
That was like the eye-opening thing. So I made a poll and I said, guys, I just want to know. And it was a trap. The poll was a trap. Okay. I put it out there and I said, I want to know what the main reason you're in this hobby is. And I listed games, I listed services and UI, and I listed chatting with friends. I had most people picking games, and I was like, great. But there was people picking UI and services and picking chatting with friends. And I'm like, you buy a $500 console to chat with friends? No.
May God have mercy on
games. There's only one right answer, and it's games. And people got mad. You can't answer for people. You can't tell them it's about games.
Oh my God.
Hey, Bob, that's like going to the liquor store and buying a pop.
Look. It's like telling me that you eat dinner just to stare at the dinner plate.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I gotta enjoy my food. I
don't understand what the deal is with new gamers out there. This whole new generation of gamers that have everything twisted, and it's not all the guys, all the gamers out there, and it's not all the Xbots. But at the same time, I will say this: I was not attacked once by any PlayStation dude, not once, with anything I said this week.
Yeah.
And that's eye-opening to me. That should tell people that there is a fucking problem with this cultist mentality that a lot of these Xbox dudes have.
Yeah.
And I have not been calling out people. I have not been in this console war and trying to separate people. Fonz has never been on record as doing as such. But I am seeing more and more that there is a deep underlying problem with that group of people right now.
Yeah, it is.
And you know what's the funny part though, Franz? Like I find it so very appalling that you have these certain type of individuals on a social media feed, right? They claim to be gamers, but yet they use racism and bigotry behavior to justify their means of gaming. Like it shouldn't go down that route as well. Like if I prefer to play on a Japanese RPG game, that is my preference.
Yeah.
It should not worry you whether it came from another side of the world. It's a fucking game at the end of the day.
Right.
It shouldn't matter.
I never thought I would hear anybody from either side say some shit like, "Oh, well, you playing on a Japanese platform, that makes you a disgrace to America," type of shit. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. How many Japanese products are in your goddamn house right now?
What? Not even that. How
Like,
many?
read the fine print of half the shit you read, or half the shit you got. I guarantee you will say "made in fucking Japan."
Bro, it's not even that. Like, how many? And I hate saying this word. How many goddamn country rednecks be driving old beat up Hyundais and fucking Toyotas in Louisiana?
Well, I mean, look, Xbox's next big conference is in Mexico. But Jay Fonz, you my man, 50 grand. But you, brother, don't get mad for me for saying this. You're gonna rule the day. You became a conscious consumer.
I know. And here's the fucked up part too. Here's the fucked up part. I even followed it up with answering to some of these dudes, which I should never do, honestly. But I answered to them and I said, look, if day one, the next Xbox, whatever it's called, Xbox 2, Scarlet, if it has a game that I like at day one, I'm buying the console. Right. But that's my point. My point is, right now, all these studio acquisitions, great, fantastic news for Xbox. But until I see the games, that don't mean shit to me.
It's a blank canvas. Exactly. It's a blank canvas.
Because who knows what could happen? Look what EA's done with studios.
Yeah.
I mean, you're telling me that somebody picking up studios is going to be an automatic win?
Hell no.
We have to see what's going to happen. I don't know, man. And I don't want to be on record as sounding like I'm for either side, because I'm not when it comes to the consoles. I'm in it for the games. And the thing is I'm just seeing more and more that there is some crazy motherfuckers out there. And they do bleed fucking green, man.
I've seen quite a few. I've seen some who bleed green and some who bleed blue. And these motherfuckers who bleed blue came from fucking
Bonzarella. Yeah. Listen, let me just say hi anyway, by the way. It's good to hear from you. Look, man, I know how you feel, bro. I've felt like this for 4 years, like with my comments on my video. And there's one thing I've learned is you just can't study it, bro, because it's not going to go away. It's going to get worse, if anything, because some people are intrinsically, right? They are intrinsically emotionally attached to something that is inanimate, like a console. Okay. Do you know what I'm saying? Their heart and soul is in that thing because that's where their self-esteem is.
Yeah. And dude, I don't take anything away from people when they tell me, they love chatting with their friends online when they're playing games. They love the services. They love the UI. I don't have a problem with any of that. That's great. To a certain extent, I love all that too. But when it comes to the games, that is the most important thing about this hobby. Yeah. If you say otherwise, you're a weirdo, and I want you to unfollow me. I want you to unsubscribe from me. I don't care about those views coming from you. I don't care about anything coming from you because I don't want anything to do with you. You are crazy. And that goes out to PlayStation dudes too. If you think that, it's all about the services and things like that, you're crazy. Okay. To me,
saw that thread.
You're not a real gamer to me.
I saw that thread you were in. You brought up, you just talking about Assassin's Creed. You just saying about the grinding. You didn't like the shit that it has from the previous one, and Deucing and going, how dare you talk about this? Say it's going to fail. And I'm like, you didn't say it was going to fail.
and that's another
you didn't say it was going to fail. You just said you didn't like the game. That's it.
That's
and you played it.
I mean, if you don't like a certain aspect of the game, then that's what you feel like. Then
that's his opinion. He
gotta respect it, man.
Why is it every time I say anything negative? And it's always about me, okay? If I say anything negative about a multi-plat game, It's only the Xbox dudes that get really butthurt.
Yeah, I don't understand that shit. You would expect PC guys or something like that. No. It's the Xbox there. Every time somebody sees some shit about a multi-plat, motherfuckers act like they want to lynch you.
It's like they embrace it as if it's an exclusive to them. It's like,
I don't get that shit.
You know what? You know, Game of Thrones has an amazing line. You know, Charles Dance, the actor, the one that played the head of that family, the dwarf's dad.
Yeah.
Right. He said a lion cares not for the opinions of sheep.
Yup. Sheep are always sheep follow blindly and are led to a pasture.
Whatever you do, exactly. Don't play the Telltale games. It'll break your heart, Foxy. So like I've
platinumed that, bro. One of the easiest platinums I ever got.
Well, I mean, obviously, you just gotta play the story.
You just gotta finish it.
And I know some.
Hey, you'd be surprised how many people don't finish Telltale games.
Hey, I know somebody like that.
People that love the UI never get to finish the Telltale games.
You know what? And I know some of my Xbox dudes will hear this. And look, I'm not talking about you guys like Dealer and Colt that I'm cool with that, do hold games above everything else. I'm not holding any of you guys accountable for this, but all the rest of you that are butthurt by anything I've said here, I don't care. I don't care. Go away. Go away.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars.
I think Bonds made a legitimate point about how some people are treating multi-plat games as exclusives. I noticed that when Tomb Raider came out. I'm like, well, wait a minute, you know Tomb Raider is coming out on every platform and on PC. They
thought it was Groundhog Day. They thought it was Groundhog Day. They thought it was Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Maybe.
Hey, nobody can answer that fucking question though that I'd be throwing out there. I'm like, dog, because I always throw this out here. I don't know y'all remember that tweet. I was like, bro, did you feel like you became the Tomb Raider? Nobody can answer that. Nobody can answer that guy.
I'm still trying to play, so
no, that's because you got 7 DLCs planned right now. So I'm guessing with those 7 DLCs, you're gonna become the fucking Tomb Raider. I don't know.
Hey, I don't know. Yeah, maybe at the end she'll put on a dress and then she'll be the Tomb. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's I don't know. Like I said, I like the game. The game, but I hate the effing puzzles.
Yeah, it's a good game.
But I like the game.
I'll buy it when it's on sale. I'm waiting for Red Dead Redemption 2.
But,
yeah.
But I just laugh when people were talking about this game, and I'm like, wait a minute. Rise of the Tomb Raider was native 4K, which that's what I understand on Xbox, which is great.
It's not native 4K on Xbox One X.
The Rise of the Tomb Raider is. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is not. I was just like, well, hey, look, it's still a great game, but it's been downgraded. It's truly been downgraded.
And they got mad at me. Teaching they're going to war with people on Twitter. It's like, okay, let me talk to her about this. You don't want common sense.
But by the way, I got to give a shout out to Luca.
Hey, Luca, how you doing, sis?
Oh, Luca's in there. Luca. Sambuca.
For
you don't say buka. What the fuck?
That's a drink. You don't know what sambuca is?
Oh God.
The ladies drink. Ladies like that drink. Sambuca.
That woman messed with that coquito. She must not.
Coquito. Nah, coquito's good, man. Coquito tastes good.
She's all about that coquito. Anyway. So, as far as this gaming hobby, right? This community, I think we all can agree that it's fucking ass backwards, pretty much for a lot of people.
Yeah. And you know what?
Ass backwards.
I mean, you got so many ass hats, bro. Like if you take a poll of how many ass hats are generally in Twitter right now, just saying the most redundant shit, man. I think the Ebola virus could be wiped out from the planet, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, Craig's reaction tells the fucking story because he know I'm telling the truth, but he just couldn't fucking say nothing. Like, yeah, it's ass backwards. Everybody just talking about the wrong shit. Like we got new games coming out, new consoles. Let's talk about the features first. That's more important.
I could care less about features, man. I want to see some goddamn games, man.
That's
the purpose of a gaming console in the first place. You buy a console. For games.
Oh no! I thought you bought it for features.
Nah, man, you don't buy that shit for features.
You know what?
I mean, if anything else, if you want to look at features, go look at pornos, man.
Well, that's the thing, though. It does all play a part. It's all important. The features, everything plays a part in your purchase. But the number one thing is the games. I'm sorry, like people need to just stop with this this mentality that, you know, it's about your preferred brand all the time. That you need to get out of that.
That shit is played out, Fonz. Being a brand fan, that shit is played out. At the end of the day, like it's the sad reality. You got a lot of dudes that are they just locked into one brand and they think that's the best brand in the world. And in reality, it's not. All brands have their own faults. All brands have their own negatives. All brands only want one thing and one thing only. It's your fucking hard-earned cash.
Hey,
end of the day.
You want to hear something funny? The funniest thing a guy told me this week was that when I said that I want to wait to see what games they have, he said I was getting impatient.
What?
And I said impatient. I said I've waited all generation for a great game.
Nah, man. I'm done, bro. I'm done. I'm officially done. He told me to wait for what?
We've been waiting the whole generation.
Because they acquired new studios. You have to literally wait, bro. Microsoft should have had these studios on lock even before the end of the 360 gen.
Yeah,
and even with them
purchasing Obsidian finally, it's like that doesn't do much for me.
Obsidian.
Like I don't hear nothing.
I don't care about Obsidian. The only good game Obsidian has ever made is Neverwinter, and that is an RPG online game. That is the only game they have made.
Oh yeah, that is true.
They made nice. They made the same.
They didn't buy Obsidian for Xbox. They bought Obsidian for their PC. For their PC ambition.
I thought it was for their Xbox.
No, because they have.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
They have a couple of good PC games that have been doing very well in the in the aspect of online gaming. They have a lot of people that have a big following for those games. That is the acquisition for that studio. But as far as like games for the Xbox, let's be serious, man. We're going to the route where they're going to start streaming games and cloud-based games. Where do you see Obsidian making any strides to make an Xbox exclusive? Nowhere.
I don't see really. I don't really see hardly anything. It's like my mind blank for a lot of this shit because it's like I don't believe half the shit that's going on. Like you had people really hyping up fucking streaming-based consoles.
Fallout Las Vegas was utter thrash. I don't care what.
That shit was
hot.
The third one was good.
What do you Fallout New Vegas?
Yeah,
that was.
I like New Vegas. I like it. I like New Vegas.
Yeah, we got two people saying it's good, two saying it's bad. We got beef.
Man, that shit had bad fucking game mechanics, man. I'd rather play Fallout 3 than that game, man.
You know what? I thought it was the best Fallout actually.
Yeah, it is. It's
even better than 4. Even to this day, I find it better than 4.
Yeah, I agree, Foxy. I agree. I like all the Fallout stuff to some degree. I'm a big Fallout fan. So,
but it comes down to personal choice, though, isn't it? So I can't tell my man he's anything for not liking it. If he don't like it, he don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I tried it. Believe me, I tried it so much. I tried it, but it just I couldn't get into the game. Like it didn't feel. It didn't tickle my fancy per se.
Well, see, Carlos, we didn't chastise you and throw you to the wolves for saying that.
No, but first we got to put him on Twitter.
Don't get me wrong, man.
Let's put him on Twitter and hang him on let's hang him to the tree, put him on Twitter and throw rotten cabbages and tomatoes at him.
Tell you the truth, honestly, I'd rather play Skyrim remastered than New Vegas.
Really?
That's just the way I feel.
Honestly, I agree with that as well. I'd rather play Skyrim than New Vegas, but I still think New Vegas is better than the other Fallout games.
Yes,
really?
in terms of weapons and actual, like, let's say, I don't know. For me, it was just the weapon system was a little bit more better. You had better options.
In less than 2 weeks, we got a real special game coming out.
Oh man!
Oh yeah, the Spider-Man DLC. You're right.
No. Fallout 76. I forgot Fallout 76. Right.
You gonna say Spider-Man DLC?
It's gotta be Red Dead. Red Dead.
Nah, I'm really I think I'm gonna go head first into that Red Dead Redemption 2, man. I'm gonna have to.
I know what you know about J. And guess what? Everybody should be excited. That game does look pretty damn intense.
Nah,
so,
not according to a certain somebody that show finds the video. I know he blown away. He blown away.
That'll be the day you don't see one video on my channel when that game comes up.
I mean, you got shrinkable horse testicles, man.
Oh no, don't go on about that. I had a set of kittens in the round table podcast with that, so no, don't go on about the balls.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, you know about that Fallout 76. I watched that hour gameplay, and man, it looks trash to me. I'm sorry. I love Fallout.
It's just an upgraded Fallout 4, bro.
It's basically Fallout 4 without all the story and the good shit.
Oh
man, indeed.
Yep.
Always
just
online.
A little bit higher frame rate with a little bit more polishing to the character details, but it's Fallout 4. Can we say this? It's practically Call of Duty Blackout in a sense. That's how I feel Fallout 76 looks like.
It's not going to have the well, shout out to Matt's Gaming. I like Matt's Gaming, but his video on the Fallout thing with Digital Foundry was saying he sounded depressed.
Yeah.
I mean, he actually sounds depressed.
He does.
Because it's not a good game or it's not a good build. I'm like, well, you got to give it some time. It's an early build.
The whole charm of Fallout is, the story and the things you can do within.
Yeah, man, you got to explore.
It's like you have exploration, you have the whole rad system, all that stuff again, but it's boring. Like you're just out there most of the time. You're alone. It's supposed to be a multiplayer game and stuff.
It's supposed to be people can jump in and fuck up your game for you.
Yeah, it just seems sad.
You know what? I never want a game to fail, but games that have had a winning formula that suddenly go in a different direction. Part of me doesn't want them to do well because I don't want them screwing with Skyrim in the future.
Yeah, quite personally.
I don't want them screwing with Skyrim 6. Don't screw with Skyrim. If this thing is a big hit, there's no telling what they're going to put in the new games.
Oh, yeah. Or even Fallout 5. I'd rather Fallout go back to its roots. I don't want to see games deviate from what these developers have already succeeded upon.
Yeah.
They're trying to thingy to the casual gamers now.
Oh, they're going to maximize profit with these new consoles.
Oh, I know, man. Battle Royale. I mean, even this COD thing has got people all excited. I'm like, dude, it's the PUBG fad all over again. Like,
I'm not really too hyped for it. Everybody's hyping it up, bro.
No, I'm not wanting it.
If you like dying once in the game and going back again into the same server, that's not fun anymore. That's just like it's gonna get
games like Fallout 76, right? That rely on online. They really do fit the cloud service because you need to be online to play Fallout 76 anyway. And honestly, it more suits the cloud, just stream that game. Why would you it's not a type of game I would want to own. Yeah.
Shout out to the 130 people watching us. Hit that like button. Indeed.
Yeah, man. Thank you for the support.
I'm a little late to that now.
Yeah, that Call of Duty, though, does look like it's what PUBG should have been,
Oh,
what,
yeah.
You talking about the Battle Royale mode?
Yeah.
Not for everybody's talking about the regular multiplayer, though. Everybody's hating on that somewhat. People are camping their asses off. Yeah, some people are enjoying it, some are not. I saw like a few streams. I saw Jay Barry playing it.
Yeah, Jay Barry, he's been playing it all day.
Yeah, Jay Barry had me dying laughing. I'm like, damn, really, Jay? I didn't even know he was going to take a chance with it, but he took a chance. So shout out to Jay Barry.
But can you call in the B2? That's what I need to know. I need to know if I can call in the B2.
No, I don't think we have any B2s in the future, bro.
Updates every single time, right? Like it goes from V2 to nuke to damn chemistry. They got so many damn names for nukes. It's like, what the fuck? Just call it a fucking nuke.
I didn't know. I just know that people were calling in something called a B2 for close air support. I'm like, are you kidding me? Have you seen the way that thing drops ordnance? Y'all are retarded.
I hope they took some notes from that beta though when it came to the Battle Royale mode. Remember how like everybody was talking about the performance aspect? I really do hope they didn't turn the graphics up because that was one of the things that was actually helping the stability, like them turning that down and just letting it focus more on the performance. Hopefully they didn't do nothing stupid like that. But
personally, I despise. No, that's too strong a word. I wouldn't say despise, but I have no interest in any game that has to be connected to the internet to work.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
true.
Same here for me, but
is when games actually push resolution over performance.
Yeah,
it really makes me mad. And I think I've heard dealers say it a lot too. PUBG did the same thing. They push resolution over performance, and It's asinine.
I think that was Microsoft's idea, you know, because they're the ones that want the console to be the all-singing true 4K machine. I'm sure the developers want to focus on performance, really, because
Yeah.
it makes the developer look bad if the game runs really choppy.
Yeah.
But if you've got the platform holder pushing 4K at you, it must be 4K. Get it to 4K as close as possible. Like that's because Microsoft are promoting the Xbox One X as the true 4K machine, isn't it?
But you know what's the funny part? You know what's the funny part about this whole 4K fiasco? Everybody forgot about 1440p. 1440p for me is one of the greatest.
Sweet spot, yeah.
It's the sweetest spot for
2K's
any
fine.
game. It doesn't
for
matter.
Performance, yeah, I know what you mean.
For performance, like you could do 60 FPS on 1440p.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, you have your occasional dips and bumps here, but as far as the graphical fidelity, it stays stable. You don't lose
more
anything.
consistent.
Well, do you think that next gen it's going to be 60 frames is going to be another problem because they're going to be pushing graphic fidelity even further?
I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem, but it really is up to the developers themselves to actually work out the kinks in those codings for those games.
Yeah.
The hardware itself, it's made for that specifically. But the problem with this gen is that everybody was pushing for the 4K initiative.
Yeah, everybody was like on the brink of touching 4K, so that was a big highlight this gen. It's like, oh, we got consoles that can now touch 4K, and then you had PC dudes laughing. It's like
4K rubbish.
4K low.
Sony.
I would have been happy with 2K settings, man. You don't.
I would have been too. That would have been fine.
You know,
2K
I
at
like
60,
Sony. I like that Sony though wasn't as adamant about 4K with developers as Microsoft has been, because if you notice a lot of PS4 Pro games, they don't even try to hit 4K. You know what I'm saying? They're doing 1600p, 1800p, 1400. They're not trying for 4K. Whereas you can see Microsoft really want their machine to get to as close as 4K as possible.
And the funny part about that is that you see how the 4K games on the Pro, right? They barely hit 4K. But as far as the performance and frame rate, they do not suffer from any of those hiccups that are present in the Xbox One X. And that's where I mean that this whole this whole 4K 60 native 4K fiasco, it should have been left for next gen. It should have just been.
You know what, Carlos? It's funny you say that because it's exactly what I was singing when the Pro was announced. I was like, please don't go 4K. Don't push the 4K narrative. Let's keep it at 1080p 60.
Right.
Well, the good thing about
the main reason the Pro still was for
didn't say that was a 4K box. He said it was to help with your TV and stuff like that. It was Microsoft that was going on. It's a 4K uncompromised machine.
Yeah.
But Sony are selling Pro TVs. You can't blame them. Sony sell 4K TVs, so it's kind of they have to.
Yeah, that's true. They are in the market. That is very, very true.
Throw it down our throats.
Yeah, Microsoft. Yeah,
but I think the console. I think the console would have been better advertised as a 2K machine with no.
It doesn't sell, bro. Who's buying a 2? No one wants to see 2K on the box, bro. I'd rather see 4K dynamic than 2K.
Listen, I've been playing on PC, man, and
that's a different space. That's a totally different space.
I can tell you from experience that even at 2K settings, you will enjoy gaming. You really don't need 4K.
Well, that's true, Carlos. It's the buzzword of 4K that's
exactly. Yeah, and 2K doesn't upscale very well, I hear, with checkerboarding.
I mean, it depends. It depends.
No, on console, it doesn't scale well with the technology they're using. That's why I say the PCs are a different space, right? But with console, they're working with their own tools, and apparently 1080p, 1440p, and 1800p are the best for checkerboarding to 4K.
Yeah.
But the ones in the middle aren't very good because it causes too much artifacting. You know, like you can see it still, like with checkerboarding, like with some PlayStation and Xbox games, right? You can see when Digital Foundry get their binoculars out and zoom right in 400%. You can actually 400%. You can see the doorstep images. You can see, like, you know what I'm saying? You can see the steps around the characters, but we can't see it when we're playing because we don't have binoculars when we're playing.
Plus, we don't.
I'm really looking. I'm just playing my games just to play it, man. I'm not really looking for. Yeah, I like the eye candy. You know, anybody likes candy when it's sweet.
Oh, fine,
But at the end of the day, like, you want satisfaction, man.
Oh yeah.
That's true, but let's be real here. When you see a game like PUBG, do you really think PUBG needs to be in 4K?
Hell no.
No.
That's what
even look. Listen. The game itself, right? The geometry itself, right? The game itself isn't even impressive. So I don't even know why they bothered with 4K.
Right, that's what I was saying. Like, dog, that could just win to performance.
So much better. Fortnite looks so much more accomplished using the same engine.
Yeah, that's sad. That's really, really sad. That's really
a good point.
Like, that's why they when you look at PUBG, you don't think 4K when you look at a game like for PUBG.
It's shit as it is, but it's gonna look shit downgrading because it's still shit anyway.
Because the graphics aren't amazing anyway, so why waste 4K?
Thank you.
I mean, it's just like how we've been stating it. It's the buzzword. People are intrigued to play at a higher resolution, and in reality, it really doesn't benefit anything other than just the fact that you're going to be having compromises within the performance of those games.
Yeah, people might not like this, but it should have been a 1080p game on the X, right? With as much high frame rate as possible. Forget 4K.
Speaking of 8K, I already got Carlos on there. Or not Carlos, but Craig here. He going to be joining the 8K family. He going to be getting that RTX card. He going to be here.
Yeah.
I've been keeping an eye on it.
It is your destiny. You're gonna join me.
He's right, he's right. You know what? Microsoft put on their box. You know, a lot of Xbox gamers, and I'm gonna say the worst of the Xbox gamers because there are some good Xbox gamers out there. So I'm not painting everyone with the same brush, but the worst of the Xbox community. I remember when they were putting the Pro down with Sony fanboys, right, saying things like, Sony are lying, it's not 4K, they're lying in advertising, they're lying. But Microsoft, all their game has to do is hit 2160p one time. And that means whether you're looking up at the sky or the ground, it only has to do it once for them to put the sticker on the box, true 4K. Did you know that?
Yeah, they did that.
Yeah, that's true. That's like a TV that does 60 or the 60 refresh rate. It may only do 48, but if it hits 60 one time, they can say
label, hey, it's 4K. It did this.
So what? So who's really misleading with their advertising then? Because Sony puts dynamic 4K on everything.
Can you really blame them though? Look at the shape they're in right now. They really got nothing.
You can't lie. You can't lie. That's a court case. That's a court case. That's a court case. That's litigation all day.
If you ain't got none but two nickels to rub together, you're gonna lie up everything.
Dude, they took Killzone developers to court over the saying it was 1080p when it was 900p with temporal whatever they used, right? They took them to court, but and Xbox. Those worst of the Xbox community were cheering the flag. Yeah, take those MFs to court. They're liars. I hate these Sony developers. Kill them. Burn them to the stake. But they won't speak up. They won't speak up when Microsoft puts true 4K on the box and it only hits 2160p one time.
Because they're retarded.
That's their masters.
Yeah.
Oh, I know the reason why, but look how twisted the community is.
They're soft.
Just like what I've seen this week, they latch on to things that they can latch on to. Even if it's just that one frame that hits that, hey, you got to latch on to it.
That's sad. They ain't got no girlfriend. They can't have no... You know what? These people haven't got a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a wife, a puppy, a kitten. They ain't even got a pet. They ain't got a goldfish. They ain't got no one in their life. They ain't nothing that knows that they exist. All they have is the screen and the keyboard.
Like every multi-platform seems to come out is always like the greatest game to an Xbox.
They were trying to say Tomb Raider. They were trying to say Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider was an Xbox exclusive.
When in reality, it was a multi-plat.
Dude, my balls dropped when I read that.
Hey, can we honestly say this, though? Can we say that some of these Xbox...
I had an intermission there. My phone went off.
These Xbox extremists, right? Can we actually say this? That they get so happy, like, when you wake up Saturday morning and you go into the kitchen... You open that cereal box, and then you get the grand prize, and you feel like the biggest person on the planet.
That's God.
It's like a Kinder surprise.
Hype right there. Like, come on, really? I know exactly what you were going with. Shout out to Crispin for this super chat. My bad, Foxy. I forgot to get to this, but
sorry.
Shout out to Carlos for that. As long as the sky is what he said. As long as the sky is 4K, that's true 4K for Microsoft. There you go.
Who said that?
That was from Carlos Crispin.
Oh wow, we're saying the same thing. I just said something like that.
Another super chat from Overdone. He said, all they have is Plastic Friend and Nintendo's got cardboard friends.
Nah, don't forget the American Dolls. You forgot the American Dolls.
As we referred to, they got plastic friends, like plastic dolls versus Nintendo's cardboard. She's referring to.
Oh my
Look, I'm
God,
gonna have to be honest about something. I'm gonna be honest about something. I don't know this person personally, but they follow me on Twitter, and they've been posting up images of all of the controllers and all of the special edition Xbox Ones. No, seriously, they own about 10 Xbox Ones. I didn't even know they made that many different Xbox Ones, but there's 10 Xbox Ones in the picture. Xbox Ones, I mean, from the OG up to the X, there's 10 in their picture.
Yeah.
And like 50, 60, I didn't even count, but it looks like 50, 60 controllers to me. I didn't see one game in the picture.
Yeah, they got themed consoles, but that don't come with the games. Yeah, I know.
It looked like there's so many Xboxes of different colors and controllers. It looked like a box of M&Ms, but not one game.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Wait, I thought you caught on to that at games. What was it? What's that shit? Inside Xbox, where they were doing an interview and they had all the controllers behind them.
Yeah, but I didn't expect an idiot to go out and buy it all, did I?
Yeah,
they will.
Come on,
just because it's you. I mean, you can say
when you saw them come out with a new Elite controller that literally has nothing different, just aside from
dude, you can stick shit in a bottle and try and sell it, but I don't expect anyone to sell it. I don't expect anyone to buy that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh Lord, y'all crazy today with this episode 30. I told y'all we going out with a bang.
I mean, for me, with the games and Xbox One this generation, the two top games for me have been independent games, Cuphead and Ori. Those are the best games on Xbox that I played.
That is true.
This gen.
That is true. I can definitely say that Cuphead was amazing, and I played it on my PC, but that was amazing.
But that is, to me, it's a problem. I mean, yes. I mean, we should look at all games as just, games, and regardless of indies or not. But at the same time, it's embarrassing, don't you think, that they don't have a AAA game that exceeds their indies?
They got AAA games. They just don't have the appeal that they did beforehand. Like, I remember when I knew Fonz remember this shit too. When Gears of War first blew up with the first one, and we got number 2 when they first introduced the Lancer, everybody was on their feet for Gears.
That's a classic game.
That was the shit. But they don't have nothing of that magnitude. That's the sad.
But Ori's got a sequel coming out, and that looks fantastic. I can't wait to play that. But as far as Gears 4 was fine. It was a good game, a great game, but it wasn't spectacular.
The story wasn't too bad.
I'm willing to bet Microsoft have made. I'm willing to wager that Microsoft has made more money selling controllers than they have games.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Definitely.
They love their controllers.
That's why they want everything to be online, and they're really trying to convert their fans, and nobody can tell me otherwise. But they're really trying to convert all their Xbox fans to PC. I mean, why else would they partner with Razer?
Yeah,
come on, man. They're really trying to convert y'all to the damn PC.
I guess I'm just talking about the convergence, man.
I'm just salty right now because all I keep hearing about is services and these new services, Xcloud now. Before I hear anything about a new game, a new IP, and what I want to hear from Microsoft, I don't want to hear about another goddamn service. Show me some games, damn it! Like you could come out and have a press conference and say, "Hey, we're working on this game," and give us a title.
That would be good.
Yeah,
tell us something. Get people excited for the brand because we are about to go into next generation. I really hope that supposedly they have something coming up in November. They better talk about some games, damn it. They better.
Oh, yeah, the one in Mexico, the Inside Xbox. This is the biggest Inside Xbox ever, guys. So with this big Inside Xbox event, I expect something big.
Fonz,
this is supposed to be when they announced a wee sneak peek of
I hate to burst Fonz bubble, but that Mexico joint, I see it as the biggest stream platform introduction ever. They're just gonna advertise the streaming service, what they're implementing on their devices. As far as exclusives and titles, we're gonna have to probably wait till somewhat next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm a little afraid of that. That's sad.
It's like when they ask me, why I'm gonna wait for a game before I buy the new console. I ask them, well, why are you buying the new console on a promise?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I'd rather buy it on games.
That same thing Lucas said, ironically, ain't it, Fonz? Like, oh, y'all bought the X on a promise. Pretty much.
No. I mean, I knew with the X that we weren't getting any new IPs. I knew that.
Yeah.
Like going into it. So that the X really doesn't feel like a letdown in that degree because I knew there was no game.
Yeah, it's fine. The console's fine. Like everybody who owns an X can tell you. Like I played on an Xbox One X console.
Great.
It's a great console. It's great. It's got a lot of cool things to it. The problem is it doesn't have the games that showcase the full potential. That's the problem.
It has some, some of the multiplats do really shine on it. Looks really good on it. And even Gears 4 look great on it. But to have like an exclusive game come out with it would have been fantastic. But I knew that wasn't coming. But going into next gen is a different story from the X altogether, and that's what people have to understand. This is a brand new generation. You got to start off on the right foot. You can't do what you did in 2013. It's not going to work.
It's most certainly not.
I just imagine for both companies. I want this next console generation to blow us away, truly blow us away, because I felt like this one was sort of a letdown in terms of the innovation pushed this year. It wasn't really that far. You had some great games, especially from Naughty Dog and stuff, some fantastic looking games, but I want to see the innovation pushed even further, and not streaming. I don't want to fucking stream my games. No. I want to see the innovation pushed on the box, the dedicated box that I buy for my living room. That's what I want to see, the innovation.
Well, you will with 5. You will with 5. You will with PlayStation 5. You can take that as Bond.
All right, but I don't know, man. especially when they're trying to do consoles of like cell phone contracts and shit like that. It's like, dog, I'm not really feeling this shit half of it. Shout out to Harry Heck and Carlos again. Let me go and get these super chats. This is from Harry. The power difference gap between Xbox One X and PS4 Pro is as big as NES now. Xbox make it look like the difference gap would be a PS3 or 360. Okay, that's true. Carlos Crispy said, I doubt Microsoft would give their new developers freedom.
They said they would.
I don't know.
Yeah, I always take Microsoft things with a pinch of salt. So.
You really do.
They actually had developers that I will defend the developers that did come out and say, yes, Microsoft told us we could do what we want. So, I mean, you got Ninja Theory that
only time was that. Yeah, only time was that. We'll find out through the years pretty much. If that's
by the way, Antonio in the chat says last gen was better. I agree. Last gen.
We was more, all of us, like, regardless of who was in lead, like, let's say Xbox, I think it was Xbox, right? No, regardless of what Xbox being in lead over the PlayStation, everybody was still talking about games. Nobody gave a shit about half these features. Everybody was talking about games.
Yeah,
that was weirdos. That was the basis of last gen. It was the fucking titles, the exclusives,
right?
Because that's what it should be about. It shouldn't be about anything else.
This generation, man.
Sony delivered.
Last gen though, who made it a vendetta just to talk about sales. But it's funny now the sales are not on that particular side. Now it's like, oh, sales don't matter. It was like that was the only flip flop I saw from last gen to this gen. Like everybody was talking about sales.
I don't go on Metacritic. I don't go on podcasts. I don't talk about sales. I don't talk about Metacritic, because I don't give a damn about that shit. And other people claim to not give a damn, but then they're hypocrites, because then they give a damn a month later when one of their games hits a Metascore that's high.
He's making a big like fucking celebratory thing where it's like, oh, Xbox One NPD. It's like, who gives a shit? You lost how many?
Can I just say this? You know what Fons Zarellis said about these developers coming out and saying how, nice things about Microsoft, that they're letting us do what we want. Do you know, if you look back historically, that every developer that ever left Microsoft, they always said something nice when they joined, but they never said anything nice when they left them.
Time will tell, and that's why I said I'm not buying the next console until I see a game that I want to play. It doesn't matter if the masses of gamers decide that that's the game they want to play. No, the only thing that should matter in your purchase is you. Whatever you want to play, and you guys shouldn't give a damn what people say about what you want to play.
Unless you got money to spend and you just want to buy all. But you go, but what the fuck caters to you?
Dude, I'm with you on that. I was preaching that right at the beginning of this podcast. It's up to people what they do with their money.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of people coming after you or coming after me because we have different opinions, have different tastes in these games.
Yeah, that's true.
Ridiculous. We're all different.
Like Sony changed my perspective on Souls types game with Bloodborne. Like before, when I first saw it, at E3, I didn't give two shits about it, but I saw the gameplay. I started liking it.
I got called out, basically called not a gamer, because I have been playing Destiny on both platforms for the last month and a half.
Yeah, I seen
because
that.
I played just one game the last month and a half. I'm not a gamer. I play every fucking day on 2 consoles on this one game, but I'm not a gamer.
Yeah, I know. I call you a flip flop.
I got roasted for because I wasn't impressed with Spider-Man, so I got roasted for that. So
oh shit. Got a games super chat. He said all them controllers were for Xcloud.
Ian, Ian, you weren't roasted hard enough because you're still alive, buddy.
You ain't running to me, that's why. How dare you talk about my favorite game, Ian? No, I'm playing.
Oh, shout out to Top Dog. He says I'm crying again. Nothing. What's up, Top Dog?
Nah, Fonz is just keeping it real, Top Dog, man.
Let's talk about
the truth. This gen is nothing but a lot of little man childs trying to act like they're tough on Twitter, on YouTube.
I have to say though, I'm sorry that Fonz hasn't been happy with it. Well, not unhappy, but this gen hasn't been everything that you hoped it would be. But at least I can only speak for like the 2 pieces of hardware that I've most had fun on, and one of them's really new, so maybe I shouldn't include it. But at least as far as PlayStation 4, right. I think the generation has been good to me personally, because I've played some. I've played some amazing games on that platform, man.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's been some great games, of course. Yeah,
a lot of good games. Yeah,
mostly on PlayStation, but there's been some great multiplats out there too. But we're about to get Red Dead Redemption 2, which is going to be the best.
You know what the problem is,
in my opinion. So
you know what the problem is? To add a little content to what you just said, Fonz, there has been a lot of games, but you know what there's also been a lot of people throwing bullshit on these games just because it's now on their preferred piece of plastic.
Well,
there's a lot of drama people throw on these games just because.
And there's a lot of weirdos on the PlayStation side too. A lot of weirdos, and I don't want none of them following me. You know, right. I don't understand why Top Dog follows me and just talks shit. Like, Top Dog, get a life, bro. Follow people that.
Hey, Top Dog, I got a suggestion for you. Go follow Elite Gaming Guru. The guy is hella fun to watch.
Oh God, we stop with the name dropping.
Hey, Fonz. I used Forza Horizon 4 footage in a video the other day, and it was like I broke the biggest sin on the planet. Seriously. Like the way people were calling me all types of names, talking about how dare you put Forza Horizon 4 in your gameplay footage? How do you do this? I'm thinking, wow, these people got time, man. I'm reading it and feeling absolute pity for them. It's like I just feel pity for those people. Like there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
Bro, you gotta enjoy.
Cat be having a fucking time of her life on Twitter with these dudes. It's funny.
You gotta enjoy gaming, regardless of what platform you choose to play on. It doesn't matter. It really shouldn't matter if Foxy UK Games plays Forza Horizon 4 whenever the fuck he wants to. It shouldn't matter.
JP, get hype, bro. Red Dead 2 is gonna be amazing. That'd be amazing. I've heard.
I don't know. Your boy did the opposite I said he was gonna do, though, didn't he?
That guy is a moron, man. Like that was the worst video I've watched in so long. And
you saw him with the headset. This motherfucker trying like he a professional breaking down. I'm like, dog, stop. Just stop.
That guy, he looks like he looks like a transient. He looks like a bum. Like,
Until I see this fucking dude's like videos get recommended, I'm like, dog, Shaggy's at it again. Come on, chill. Stop. Stop.
Dude, he looks like Carlos said it best. Carlos said it best. He looks like Shaggy on crack.
That's what I'm saying. Does he want a Snoopy snack?
Oh man, I don't know. I think he ate too many fucking Snoopy snacks. Snacks. Shout out to Brandon Lewis, man. He said, I agree. No one should tell another what they should play and not play. As long as you're happy, regardless of the system or game itself. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters. Preach.
Bro, I own a PC. I got an Xbox One OG. I still have my old Xbox OG Xbox from 2002. I still have my Xbox 360. I still have a PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, Nintendo Wii. I play on every freaking platform. Why? Because I love to play games. That's just the way it is. But these new age gen wannabe socialist elitists that are on Twitter, they just want to push that narrative that if it's not on their preferred console, it's not the end. That's why I always keep on saying gamer by choice, not by trend, because most of you assholes on Twitter are only trendsetters. You're not really Picassos or Michelangelos. You're just wannabes. That's just how it is.
A lot of people tend to rely on shock value too when it comes to this community. A lot of them.
Noticed that.
A lot of people rely on shock value. Shout out to the 150 people watching too. I've been trying to say it for the last 4 minutes, but shit, can I get it?
Man, hit that thumb like, man. Hit that thumb like.
One of you made a comment. You guys said, I hope 60 frames per second becomes the norm. Well, the PlayStation 5 and most definitely the Xbox Scarlet will definitely achieve this with no problem with the new processors by default. But there was that one particular news that came out that I wasn't necessarily fond of, and that was the VSync with the PS5. I'm not necessarily fond of that whatsoever. For those of you that don't know what VSync does, it pretty much locks the performance of the game to the refresh rate of your monitor. So if you have a 60 hertz monitor, which you pretty much will have by default, which is basically the norm when it comes to TVs, it will differ depending on what kind of monitor that you got. That's why you have people say, I got a like performance heavy monitor. A performance heavy monitor is 144 hertz, pretty much.
Yep, that's what my PC one is.
Yeah, that's what mine is too. That's what a performance monitor is. So for them to lock your games to 60 hertz, you're gonna run into problems if these particular consoles can't necessarily hit the game to 60 frames per second, which is basically 60 hertz. 60 hertz is 60 frames per second. That's what you see with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Shadow of the Tomb Raider cannot run, at a 60 frames per second. It just can't. Even at the performance mode, it will hit 60, right? But it can't maintain 60. Hence why you have your crazy frame rate drops and your crazy screen tearing.
But let me tell you what the V-Sync's for. Why they're adding it.
They said it's for stability, but I kind of doubt it.
No, it is for stability. I tell you why. If you notice on Digital Foundry, some games run at 45, 50, 55, 57, 58, 59, but not 60. Now, if it's not running at an even frame rate, either 33 milliseconds or 16 milliseconds, right? Which is 30, that's 60 at 60 milliseconds and 33 at that's 30 frames per second, right? If somehow the developer has frame pacing issues or something, it's not that the game's not locked, but some developers have frame pacing issues in their game where it's juddery. Well, that VSync will remove that judder.
True.
That's what it's for. Xbox has got it as well. Xbox One X has got it as well. It just removes the judder of when games drop to like 45 frames or 55 frames, or if it's locked and there's a frame pacing issue, the VSync eliminates that. That's all that's for.
Yep. But again, with them doing that and them having a bottlenecked CPU, you got the performance that you got with the Xbox One X, where games can look great, but the performance category will always differ significantly. Some games will run good, others will look completely trash. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is the most recent example of, how the performance can be with the screen tearing and everything. Even in performance mode.
So it really helps the Xbox One X
right now. It can help with, it can help with stability, but again, it really is going to come down to the console, like what they got. But,
I mean, it honestly helps Xbox One X when it drops to 45 because it does remove the judder in VSync mode.
Yeah. No, I've heard that too. It smooths it out, but no, even with these games in performance mode and they've got those hiccups, I still like to play them in performance mode personally. Because I mean, the extra resolution really does shit for me. I don't care. I give me as close to 60 frames as possible.
Have you played God of War, Fonzarelli? You play God of War?
Yeah. I played.
Have you played it on the Pro?
Yes, and it's my game of this generation.
And you played it in performance. I'm just asking him this, and you played it in performance mode, yeah?
Yeah, I went back and forth through the whole game.
Right, so you'll notice that drops from 60 to 45 a lot, right? And there's stutter. Sometimes when you turn in the camera, you see stutter because it's not locked at 60. VSync would make that super smooth.
Yeah, that's one thing that kind of annoyed me at times. So I would go back and forth. But damn, that's my game of this generation so far.
Yeah, VSync would fix that game.
Shout out to Harry again. He said, thoughts on devs getting lazier when devs get more powerful consoles and faster rates. This gives shortcuts for devs to not optimize their games with talent and for most parts rely on the hardware.
You're gonna have to do that anyway. First party IP. That's why you need the first party. You're gonna have devs.
You're gonna have devs doing that anyway. It doesn't matter what's available. Devs are gonna take shortcuts anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
It's human nature. It's human nature. It's human nature. If you can cut across the park rather than walk all the way around it, you're gonna cut across the park, innit? To do it in half the time, innit?
Mm-hmm.
It's human nature. Like you can't really. There's a lot of these scaremongering theories going about. Oh, if this happens and that happens, come on, man. You're just creating problems in your own head. These things, some people think so far ahead that something is gonna go wrong. Like it's all right to ask a what if question, but some people act like it's happening. Like they talk, their argument, they're so strong in their argument. It's almost as if we're already experiencing it. And I'm thinking, hold on, you're talking about something that isn't happening yet.
Okay. Especially for Fonz Relics, I know he's hype. He's probably the most hyped dude in this chat when it comes to Red Dead. I'm talking, he's doing videos left and right. What you have to say about Bully 2 and the cash being revealed?
Let's go.
No, here's the thing. Bully, it was a decent game, but I wasn't really hyped on it back in the day. Like it was okay, but
wow, I'm shocked.
I probably one of the I don't want to say worst because it wasn't bad, but it wasn't my favorite.
Wasn't your cup of tea, pretty much
from Rockstar. It wasn't my favorite, but dude, I'm excited for what they could do with it now because think about it back then, man. The mechanics and everything were really janky.
Yeah, they were bare bones. Yeah, that's pretty much.
So I'm looking forward to seeing the new Bully.
Now, answer me this. Do you think they would even go the extra mile and trying to do pretty much like a GTA Online style for Bully?
Of course.
You think so? Yeah, I had the same theory too.
Come on, with all that money they've made, come on. You're gonna have with Red Dead Redemption 2, you're gonna have like wagon wheel freaking bucks and stuff. Like that.
That's why I was like, you guys are hyped for the story, which is great, but I'm thinking they're really gonna revamp that online for
everything they put out is gonna have an online mode with microtransactions for sure. Yep. Rockstar's got that, they had the winning formula with 5. They're going to try to recapture that. Unfortunately, it's not going to ever be recaptured. I mean, I think that was a one-time deal that it's going to get that big until the next GTA, maybe.
Oh, yeah, true.
GTA 6.
Yeah. Hopefully, when they do make the next GTA, they don't do nothing scummy like gimp fucking actual money you earn and shit like that by default and, put you in a predicament where you got to buy these little shark cards. Because let's be real here. You pretty much got to buy the shark cards if you want half this shit in GTA.
Oh, I got to talk to Platinum Ninja in the chat. He says he hopes they bring back the Undead Nightmare. I heard a rumor that might be part of the online you get.
Oh, okay.
I heard you might get it when the online drops.
Okay. That'd be cool. Like a theme type of shit where they had it for Halloween day one or something.
Amazing. Because Undead Nightmare, I wasn't hip to Undead Nightmare till recently because I never played it back in the day. But man, that's a great game too.
Oh yeah, it was cool. Especially when you when he puts there, like he ties his family up, he puts food bomb, but it's like they don't want the food, they want
whole opening. Is
okay, definitely. What you guys got to say about Bully 2, Ian? What you want to say?
Oh, I enjoyed the first one, so if it's true, I'll probably get it anyway.
Okay, Craig. Greg.
I've never played it, and don't plan on playing this one. But hey, more games is good. As long as there's more games coming out, I'm happy.
Amen. So, Foxy.
Bully on the first play. I think I played it on the 360 first. Even though it was on the PS2, I think I got the 360 version.
Yeah, they have the backwards paddle one shit. Yeah,
it looks way better on the 360 than the PS2. Obviously,
I enjoyed it. Yeah,
but yeah. I love Bully. I like games that are at school anyway. I used to play a game called Back to School and School Days on the ZX Spectrum.
Okay.
Many years ago.
All right. Carlos, what you got to say about Bully 2?
Bully 2, can't wait to play it. That's all I got to say. I haven't played it since the PS2 days. I mean, I'm just hoping that the storyline sticks to what we were left off with from the first one. And pretty much that's it.
Hey, Fonz, you might want to cover your ears on this one. This is going to make you scream, bro.
No.
Crackdown 3 delayed again.
That's not
hey, you know what? That's come on, dude. Like
he just died inside. Like,
come on, dude. Like that's something that was a given, right? I mean, the next thing you're gonna hear is Crackdown's canceled. That's what you're gonna hear next.
Oh Lord, guess what the excuse was this time? Apparently, they didn't want to go head to head with Anthem and I think it was Metro Exodus, something like that. I'm like,
I
thought Uncle Phil
Metro's got a 4K rack, so nobody's going.
No, not the rat.
I thought Phil said that it was because it needed more time.
yeah, it got delayed again.
But here's the thing. Aaron Greenberg on Twitter said something to the effect that he hasn't heard anything of it being pushed past February of next year. So is it delayed just a week or two? And if it's just a week or two, is that really enough time if it needs more time? I mean, I don't understand. I don't get the.
I had a good conversation with Randall Thor and all day when we were off we was off Arrow and Scumcast about this. Yeah. Majority of the reason why this game was delayed was because of the multiplayer.
Oh,
that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I don't know what the hell is actually going to stop them.
Because that multiplayer is not going to be as advertised. I'm telling people. I've been saying it since, fuck, man, this is going on like 2 years now. That multiplayer is not going to be what they advertise. It's not going to be
the power of the cloud, Fonz.
They're holding back. They're holding back Crackdown 3 for their Project X cloud service.
Nothing surprised me.
Yeah,
they're going to use that game. They're going to use that game to show you what cloud-assisted gaming can do.
This is just a personal thing, but I liked Crackdown 1. Crackdown 2 was trash. Yeah. This game does not appeal to me. It doesn't. Like Crackdown 1 was good for its time, but I don't want to play it again. I don't care to play it again.
Yeah. That's crazy though. Wasn't they supposed to come out like the same day as Days Gone though? Because Days Gone comes out February 22nd.
Yeah, but nothing's going to stop Metro. Metro's got a 4K rack, and nothing will stop that, especially on the Xbox.
4K rack, chill.
I've been looking forward to this since they showed that 4K rack at E3 in 2017. I guess it was 2017. I've been looking forward to that for 2 years, so I'm getting that. That's
yeah,
what I
they
like
had with that 28 Days Later theme they played in the first trailer. But it was like a super fast-paced version of it. They had me hyped since then.
Yeah, I can't wait for Anthem.
Oh yeah, Anthem looks good, but I'm going into Anthem very very safe though.
Yeah,
Anthem.
I'll put that on PC.
Anthem. Yeah. You know, we were talking about earlier about these developers that have a winning formula and then they try to deviate from that. And I think this is a case where BioWare is going towards a genre that I feel like they should stick to what they're good at with the storytelling and everything. And like Mass Effect is one of my favorite series of all times.
Right. Oh yeah.
And now they're going off into this more Destiny clone. And honestly, do we really need another Destiny? Do we really need that type of game? Because most people that are playing like the Destinies and the Divisions, are they going to want a third game like that? I mean, because it's going to be a lot of grind there too. And there's a lot of misconception out there. A lot of people don't understand. They think because BioWare is all about that single player narrative, they're thinking that, yes, this is going to be an online game and they're going to be playing with their friends. But I'm not sure that most of these guys understand what kind of grind this is going to be. This is going to be a lot like Destiny.
Yeah. Speaking of EA and everybody, did you hear about EA and I think it was Ubisoft going at it? Like Ubisoft took a jab saying that we have pride in our games and shit like that. But I'm like, if you got pride in your games, Ubisoft, why the fuck are you charging people real money just to get resources in Assassin's Creed?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, you can legit like half the shit in the world, like such shit like wood and whatever stuff you need to like craft things and get for ships, you can buy with real life money on Assassin's Creed. Honestly.
So how comes Grand Theft Auto 5 gets away with it and Assassin's Creed Odyssey can't then? What's the difference?
It's not that funny. Nah, because what his comment saying we have pride in our games and what we do.
Yeah, but Rockstar got pride in their games and they still charge you if you want to buy items. Shark cards. What's the difference?
That's true, but they don't make it. Well, that is true.
Okay, here's the difference. Here's the difference. GTA Online is an online game, and I'm not trying to defend their microtransactions at all, but you have a single player game that should not have XP boosts. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Single player games should not give you that option. It's weird to me that that in this day and age that people want to see games offer you this stuff for real money, and it's only hurting the game, because from what I've heard from some people, now you'll hear different narratives out there. Some people tell you that it doesn't affect the game at all, but there's a lot of people that I've read their reviews on, and they say, look, it does mess up the game because they are forcing you to do things, to grind way more, because they're hoping on the chance that some of you out there will say, fuck this grind, I'll just pay for it.
I agree with that. I agree, because it can make that game artificially whatever. But here's the problem. People are supporting it. And when their support and money are coming in, it's, we are the ones who spend the money, right? So we vote with our wallets, right? Obviously. Problem is for everybody that says, oh, I'm not supporting this, and doesn't support it, there's millions that will support it.
Yep, that's true. Foxy, you're 100% correct, and that's why I haven't been on Twitter, campaigning against the microtransactions in Odyssey. You won't see any of that from me on Twitter, because I've already made the decision since Origins, since that was there in Origins too, that I wasn't no longer going to buy the games because they are going this route. And it's not just because of the microtransactions; it's because it affects the game's grind. And I don't want to grind out the single player game like that. I don't want to grind it out.
Didn't you say in Origins that the main boss or one of the levels or something like that was locked based on your level?
Yeah.
Is that true? That's actually true?
Yeah.
You can't beat the game unless you're a certain level?
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, that's fucking ridiculous.
I know, because I went on a mission, couldn't do it because I didn't have that level.
Oh wow, that's terrible. That's fucking terrible.
But stop. This sounds odd to me, this discussion. Like, all right, so you were locked away because you weren't at the right level. But I've played so many JRPGs that don't ask you for money, that lock you away from bosses because you're not ready for them.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but do you play the JRPGs that force you to do the shittiest side missions ever?
Yeah. Try Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Well, for a roadblock in a game where you have to go and grind but they're not asking you for any money. It's just part of the game's mechanic.
Yeah, well, that's just a shitty game then. Here you have a shitty game on top of that. They're saying, hey, if you don't want the shitty parts, pay for it.
Yeah. And we got to take into account a lot of people's kind of following suit. Look at Capcom; they're even doing it with Devil May Cry.
Yeah, I know. Still,
I think the problem lies in the consumer, not the business.
I agree with that too.
That's why I've got no sympathy for the people who complain, because the very same people complaining on Twitter, they're quickly sneaking to buy that DLC. They're quickly sneaking to pay for that microtransaction.
I literally unsubscribed to somebody yesterday.
They're saying, I'm not buying COD, but they're the first to pre-order COD. Like, I just don't take people seriously no more.
Yeah, well, I was about to say to you, Foxy, I literally had to unsubscribe from this dude yesterday.
I gotta respond to Jamia Dixon. They said that I can't talk about a game if I don't have it. Well, here's the thing. I can't talk about the game because I'm just talking about for me. I'm not saying that the game is trash for you. You can love the game, and I've explained that at the beginning of the show. But for me, it's not my type of game, and I know that playing through Odyssey, Origins. I played through the whole thing, and I've heard from so many people and from people I trust as well that the same issues that I had with Origins are present there in Odyssey.
Oh, dude, I gave up on Origins.
I don't wish to play. Look, here's the thing. I don't wish, and let me explain what those issues are for me. And this is just personal. I don't like ship battles at all. There are more ship battles here. I don't like the grind as far as the side missions in these games, because they're not very good.
Okay,
those are still present, just like in Origins. You can just play through the story mission, and that's it. The same thing with Origins. It's the same thing with Odyssey. You can't just play the story. No, thank you. Those three issues alone,
I agree. I can't finish. I bought Origins ages ago, and I'm not even halfway through it because it just became a chore to me. I think, hold on, I feel like I'm doing a job. I should be paid to do this.
Hey guys,
this feels like work. This feels like a job, like someone. I feel like a game tester.
No, Jamia Dixon, if you say it's fire, that's cool. I respect your opinion. I'm not telling you that it's not fire for you. That's awesome. I just don't wish to play The ship battles alone, I hate water in games. That's why I don't like what is it? The Sea of Thieves stuff. I don't like being in a boat. I want to be on dry land.
You get seasick.
Just like in real life, I don't like being on a boat. Like, it's not for me. I like being.
We got a super chat.
That's your thing, man. If you don't like water, but here's the thing, right? They're beautiful to look at, but honestly, once you start getting into like progressing the story, it becomes like work. Like you feel like you're working for the man. You do feel like you're doing a job.
Yeah.
I know so many people, Jimmy and Dixon, that are saying that they're low level and they've got 20 plus hours into the game and they're grinding it out in Odyssey, mind you. And I've got people that are saying that you cannot play just the story mission. So to me, that merit alone, it's a grind. Like if I can't just play through the story mission in an Assassin's Creed game, it's a grind.
Just ask all day. He's the one like really throwing it out there too on Twitter. He's like really like throwing all that shit out. But shout out to Brandon Lewis here. He said even though Konami is doing its thing, unfortunately, God, what I would give to have a new Castlevania and Silent Hill game.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
They're coming, aren't they? Aren't new Castlevania games coming?
He said Silent Hill as well.
I don't know about Silent
I don't
Hill.
think that'll happen.
No, Castlevania is coming though, isn't it?
I think Castlevania is coming. Yeah.
They even had a Netflix show.
Yeah, it's actually quite good. Actually, a Netflix series.
Yeah, there's 2 Castlevania games coming.
Yeah. So you're gonna at least get one of them.
As long as it ain't Resident Evil, I think we'll be good in terms of a show and a movie. They pretty much destroyed that series movie was.
A code for that Jump Force. It's really good.
Okay, I guess this is aimed towards Fonz here. It's from Jeremiah Dixon. Super chat. He says, I have 23 hours at level 21, almost 22. Not my fault they don't know how to play RPGs.
He's paying to win right now. Look, he's trying to pay to win his comment and getting read first. Look. That's paid.
Here's the thing. We all have opinions on these games, and you've got other people in the chat that are saying, look, they're at 28 hours and it's starting to get to them, the grind. So there's people that have different opinions on this. There's big reviews from people that I trust out there, not just from the IGNs or whatnot, but guys I actually trust, gamers that play all kinds of games, that are saying that the grind is real in this game.
Right.
It's true. There's no disputing that.
There is a grind.
Yeah.
If someone says there's no grind in Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins, they haven't played it.
No, I got somebody who played a lot of hours into it, but he's claiming that there's no grind whatsoever.
Well, Jamia is liking that grind then.
And it all depends on perception, isn't it? It's like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. You say it must be a shit game. I don't think you've played it. It's not a shit game, but it is grindy, and a lot of people couldn't stomach it. But because for me, I love the whole anime, like art, JRPG style, and the story's interesting, that you can put up with the grind. But I suppose if they were asking me to pay, it would be worse. So the fact that, Monolith Soft, who made Xenoblade Chronicles 2, they're not charging you any extra money to pass things in the game, whatever. So it doesn't feel as bad. But I suppose when Ryan says Odyssey is not nice because it does that, I suppose I can see his point there.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like Jamia, you said if doing quests are a grind, then fuck it, it's a grind. Well, no, if you're having to do side missions just to be able to get to that next level, that to me is a bit of a grind. And people are in the chat saying stuff about, well, what's wrong with grind? Well, what's wrong with it is an individual's taste. Like if I don't like a certain grind, if I like the game's mechanics, if I think the combat's great, if I think the missions are decent, then that grind,
you can overlook it. Yeah.
Here's a good example of a grind.
But if I don't like boating and I have to do boating missions, then I'm gonna hate that grind.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a good example of grinding done the right way, where it doesn't feel like a chore, but it just feels like it's just part of the game, and you just do it because you have fun with it. Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4. All the backpacks and all that stuff, it doesn't feel like a grind doing that, does it?
But you don't have to do it though to finish the story as well. That's another thing.
You don't have to do it, but it doesn't feel like a grind to do all that stuff.
It would if you couldn't. It would if you couldn't finish the story without doing them all though. Trust me.
True, but by default, a lot of you, like especially for everybody I've seen playing it too, because I immediately did it too. I immediately went and grabbed all the backpacks.
Okay. Jamia is saying that it's an open world RPG. It's not a linear story. True, but there's a lot of open world games, RPGs as well, that you don't have to play the side missions. Like, you don't have to grind out a lot of side missions. You don't.
Right.
You know, there's plenty of open world games out there you don't need to do that in.
Yeah, you could. Some open world games, right? They have hundreds of side missions, right? And the story itself, like with the side missions, the game would last like 80 hours. But if you skip them all and just play the story, you can do it in 10 hours, right?
Yeah.
Some games allow you to just finish the story and not even touch the side missions. And if you want 10 hours, you can have 10 hours. If you want 100 hours, you can have 100 hours.
That is true.
That's how they should do it. They should do it that way.
Yeah. Exactly. But they didn't, because they put those microtransactions in there. Come on.
Because they're trying to force you. They're trying to get you to buy. They're hoping the most impatient people, which are normally family, hardworking people, right? Because they got the least amount of gaming time afforded to them. They're hoping those people will say, "Oh man, let me just spend like $30-40." Do you know what I'm saying?
Chili Hog, I barely did any side missions at all in Horizon Zero Dawn, and I got through that game.
Yeah, you don't have to do the side missions.
Yeah, you don't.
Except for like certain ones, because certain ones are like true to the, they're actually to the plot, but most of them you don't have to do.
I feel that those are side missions, because I think those direct you to those missions. Like
they kind of treat them like side missions though, because they'll tell you to grab this and do this sort of thing. But yeah,
no, that's not. That's if you need to do a mission, right, to progress the game, it's not a side mission.
I don't know the way they treat it, you would think it's a side mission.
You would no. If you let me rephrase that.
I know what you're saying.
If you're made to go to do a totally separate mission, right, to retrieve something to go on to your next story, then that's not a side mission. That's integral to the story.
Yep.
If you do a side mission to get like better gear and get your level up, then that's just a true side mission, because you don't need to do that. You could go take your chances with the boss.
Okay.
I remember with that game, some of these side missions. Now, majority of these side missions that were like true and intricate to the story when it comes to Horizon Zero Dawn, they all had crazy cutscenes. Remember, they all had like legit in-depth cutscenes.
Yeah, and you needed whatever you collected from that side mission, you had to have in the story. So that's not a side mission.
But here's what I'm trying to get to you. That was how it's supposed to be for the main mission. Some had deep cutscenes and were like really, really detailed. There were other side missions though that were treated like that, but they didn't have the cutscenes or whatever. They just said, "Oh, you got to this person." It's like, "Oh, Aloy, our village was attacked. We need you to grab this artifact." And you go and grab the artifact, and there's no cutscene whatsoever. You just grab it.
Yeah, you don't need to do that. That's a side mission. You don't need to do that.
I'm telling you, there were some missions like that you need to do. But it wasn't. It was treated like it was a main part of the story, but it wasn't really anything.
I don't remember any of those, and I finished it twice.
I casually played the main mission in that game, pretty much. Only a couple of side missions. And it took me only about 15 hours to beat Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, it's not a long game.
I mean, now Assassin's Creed Origins took me 60 hours to beat.
Damn.
Yeah, that took a while, but. You got to really what people got to understand about the whole grinding thing is that if you are invested in the story and the characters, you don't mind the grind. But if you just, I understand what people are saying. Like Witcher 3, Witcher 3, you had side missions to go get better armor. You could get that school armor or something like that. That was a true side mission, but you didn't need it to defeat the game. But at the end of the day, if you were invested into the characters, and you like what you got, Jay Fonz, you brought up Mass Effect, and I can understand that because I got all the DLC for Mass Effect, all the skins for Mass Effect, so I can appreciate, wanting, being invested, into a game heavily. But if you like the story, like I like the story of Assassin's Creed, but then again, I'm into the science fiction of the humans being created by another group of extraterrestrials, and then they left artifacts all over the planet. You got two different groups fighting to get that's the story. And if you like the story, you don't mind the grind. Yeah. But I get that grind is brutal, especially on Odyssey. It's just like, God damn, I gotta do level this to do this.
Yeah. Well, I'm grinding just now on Destiny 2, so
Oh Lord, that's true. That is definitely true. We got another topic here. The PS Vita will finally be discontinued. Does anybody care?
Not surprised.
Not Mike care. No love for the Vita. You guys are jerks.
I loved my Vita.
No love for the Vita. Where's the other one here? Okay. talked about that. Okay, so Sony might launch with a new portable device. And with this portable device, we could possibly get a new revamped PSN with it. Now, the reason why I say we could get a possible revamped PSN with it, the device we're going to get is a tablet, if I'm not mistaken, and it's going to be focused with the it's going to be basically with the whole streaming based thing. Plus, they're going to be incorporating it with the PSN, with your messaging and everything in that nature. So I'm thinking we might have a more revamped PSN to go with that, to bring it out. What you guys think about
sounds
that?
like a Switch, but
Nah, it's not gonna be a Switch because it's confirmed to not be a console. It's gonna be a little tablet, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a Switch.
no, but I'm saying it's kind of like based on the same idea. It's gonna have game, you can play games through it.
Yeah.
What is it, like a PS? You think like PS Now or something through that?
Probably so. Something you take on the go. Because remember how, and you know, it's funny. We shitted on Nintendo about this when we first saw the Switch, where everybody was like, "Oh, nobody's gonna go outside with the Switch, do all that." But Microsoft showed the exact same thing.
It's just
Carlos Fisher, Mike.
It's just to use the remote play, like how you usually use your Xperia phone or any peripheral like a iPad or Android phone, where you can actually connect to the system via Wi-Fi and just play your PlayStation exclusives on your phone on the go, on your tablet on the go. So I guess they're gonna try to do a PlayStation branded tablet, so that it could be more compatible.
Sounds a lot like the PS Vita too. You know.
Because practically, because you guys got to remember the PlayStation Portable. It also had this feature when they upgraded the firmware back in 2000. I think it was 2008, 2009. That you could actually use your PlayStation Portable to do the same function, which was remote play. You could practically control your console with your handheld device.
Yep, that is true. That is definitely true. Okay, anybody else want to add anything else to it, Craig?
No, my understanding is that's not happening, but it's have to wait and see. I mean, it's a rumor.
Yeah,
I would say 20% chance.
20%,
but that doesn't mean they won't do it 2 years after launch.
That's true. That is true. A lot of us, we claim we're not going to do it, and they take a gamble anyway. Like VR, like remember how VR was a rumor, and we didn't think they'd take a gamble on it, and lo and behold, PSVR. So
yeah,
never know.
I always tell people to get PlayStation VR because it is really good.
Yeah. Okay. Foxy?
Yeah.
Fox, you did get what you think about it?
Outside of what I tweeted, I can't talk about it yet.
He's
not
talking about
He's
it.
got inside information, so he can't say
Insider.
Yeah, he's got to keep that.
I tweeted, don't throw. What I say in the tweet is, don't throw your PlayStation Vitas away just yet.
Okay. What about PSP? PSP was great, man, but the Vita just missed the mark that the PSP pretty much set.
You know what? PSP was the last handheld I bought, and it totally turned me off of handhelds. I don't. Really? Yeah. And it's funny because I left it at my job, 13 years ago or something. And it's still there. The other night I busted it out. I haven't played it in like 13 years. I plugged it in. It actually charged. I was like, holy shit. I turned it on and I had a copy of Madden 2008 in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so I started playing it and I was like, yeah, this is why I don't like handhelds, but at work, I was able to play, Madden. So I played a bit of Madden.
See, that's crazy because I had a great experience with the PSP. I remember I got mine on Christmas. Me and my cousin got ours at the same time. It was a surprise. I didn't actually have it on my Christmas list, but my mom surprised the hell out of me with it, with the shit that I wanted. And when I got it, I had Liberty City Stories. I had Ape Escape Academy. I had NFL Streets. Even that Dragon Ball Z game was on that. Oh, you played that too on your PSP?
That was good on the Vita.
Those analogs are hard to get used to. That's
that was a turn off. I didn't like the small analog on the right. I did not get used to that.
But one thing I did like about the PSP, I will give it credit, is the fact that all the homebrew applications that were available for it. You can basically put all kinds of emulation and stuff on there and play different games.
Play music in the background if you wanted. It was a lot of cool stuff you can do with the PSP. I thought it was ahead of its time at that.
It was in that regard, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely ahead of its time.
Do you know what? It's
with the
it's funny before the. Go on, sorry.
No,
I can't even hear you talking on my end. Do you know what it is? I don't hear you talking until the last second. I don't know if there's a delay or what, but when I start, no one's talking. Here's the thing.
Yeah, turn around.
It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Before the Nintendo Switch, I wasn't really into handhelds. Never really cared about them. But the Switch has kind of changed my mind about it. Maybe it's because they were so far behind home consoles back in the day that I didn't care about them. But the Switch has kind of bridged the gap between the home console experience and a portable experience, and it's weird. I'm really interested in portables now.
I think it's because of the controls, probably. I think because we've suffered with a lot of just whack controls on handheld devices for years. And I think with the Switch, it does look like it'd be more comfortable to use.
But plus the screen as well. Like normally with portables, the screens have always been small. Like this is nice size screen to look at. Like it doesn't strain your eyes. You can play it like it's like you're watching the TV. And yeah, you're right. The controllers help. And what also helps is that the graphics aren't different from what I'm seeing on the TV when I plug it in. Like it feels like I'm playing the console in a portable rather than the portable being a lesser version of the console. Like PSP and Vita was. Like Vita couldn't hope to keep up with the PS4 in graphics, even though it had good graphics. It couldn't manage PS4, and PSP couldn't even manage the PS3's graphics or even PS2. Some PS2 games look better than the PSP games.
You know what though? I got this Galaxy Note, and when Xcloud comes out, I can't wait to walk around with my Xbox controller.
There you go.
Really easy to carry around everywhere.
You're gonna look like a hypocrite, though. That was the main thing Nintendo Switch got hate for when it was showing that up.
I'm just playing though, because I got into an argument with somebody because they were saying, you can play on your phone. I'm like, who likes phone controls? Because
horrible.
And they're like, but you can use your Xbox controller. How practical is carrying around your Xbox controller? Let's be real. Who's going to carry that around?
Well, according to
I understand for a woman, they got a purse, right? They can put it in their purse. But for a dude, go walk around with a controller in your pocket 24/7.
I guess for Xbox, fanny packs are coming back.
Yeah, that or you could
rucksack. You have to carry a rucksack around with you, army grade rucksack.
Or you're just gonna have to do the good old bulge on the side pocket.
Wheelbarrow. You're gonna have to carry. You're gonna have to put it in a wheelbarrow and push the console and controller in front of you.
Carlos brought back some memories right there. I used to always take my damn Game Boy Advance to school. My mom used to look at my pocket like, look at that big ass bulge in your pocket. Take that shit out your pocket.
You know what? Imagine a kid going to school with a portable Xbox, but you have to use the big controller. You have to put it in your lunch. You'd have to carry it in your lunchbox.
God damn.
You can't even bring no lunch to school. Just the controller in your lunchbox.
Shout out to Brandon Lewis for continuing. Shout out to Brandon Lewis super chat again. He said Final Fantasy VII, Crisis Core, PSP. Still got that one myself. Loved it. Yeah, I do remember those for the Vita.
Well, you got that. I still got a old school Game Boy Advance SP Red.
Oh wow!
You gotta sell that, bro. Get some money
with Metroid. Okay, with
nice.
Metroid.
Now, ain't it crazy how far the handhelds have gotten? Y'all remember the worm light back in the day when we were young?
Not even that.
I'm
gonna take it super old school, and Fonz might remember this. You remember the very first handheld from Nintendo where you played Donkey Kong?
What was that? Game and Watch?
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, I had loads of them.
I had that. I had the Donkey Kong version, and I had the
orange. You had the orange one,
I remember, when I was a kid in the early 80s, they came out with these little tiny arcade simulation things. It was like a little box, and it was like a replica of an arcade, and it would have like a Donkey Kong or Mario Brothers. The original
electronic games. Those were the days.
Yeah,
I remember Tommy. They used to make Shark Attack and the racing one. It was like binoculars. You looked into it, and you played the game by looking into it.
Bro, it was fun.
All the old school dudes. You guys remember the name Tiger Electronics?
Oh yeah, Tiger Electronics.
Come on,
they're still going, bro. Bro, they still make those little games. We
Do
got
they
a retail store called Argos in the UK, right?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes when I'm looking for toys for my 4-year-old, like to buy her a toy, right? I go to the game section like for kids, and Tiger still make those kiddie games, like the ones that we had when we were little, like one game built into this like tiny little handheld, like, and it just plays one game. They still make them.
I had
Run on batteries.
I had the X-Men version. I had Aladdin. I had
that was a good game.
Spider-Man. I had what else? Oh man, I even had the Jungle Book version on the handheld Tiger.
You were now.
Listen, I had a Casio watch. Here back in the day, right?
Wait.
With 100 alarms.
I'm making Nancy blush in the chat right now.
It had a boxing game built into it.
Nah, I had
Casio watch with a boxing game on it.
You remember the old school Radio Shack the Radio Shack?
Yeah, I remember Radio Shack. Yeah.
Remember the old school Tell Your Time watches? It's 11 o'clock time for lunch.
Speaking math.
It had that, and it had an FM radio preset so you could throw on your little headphones on the side and listen to your music.
When I was a kid, they had the best stuff.
Come on, man.
What? It's like we've turned this into old school gaming podcast.
Come on, we're all time.
Can't beat that.
Nostalgia, man.
No, you can't beat the nostalgia. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
Like, you always look back over the years, like, damn, this is what I used to do, and it's like that shit overpowers a lot of shit you play now. Because we didn't run. I remember
Tamagotchi. I think the last craze in the UK for electronic gaming was Tamagotchis.
Oh
yeah.
god.
Oh yeah, that was the craze back in the 90s, man. Especially 96, 97.
Yeah, I was a kid. Well, when I say kid, I don't know, 12, 13, 14. I loved it. I had loads of them. All my pets died, but I still loved it.
Right.
Yeah, they were hard to keep alive, that bloody things.
I just didn't care. I didn't care after a while, man.
All right, well, let me get to these last two topics, and we'll end the show. Sound good?
Yeah.
So this right here was from the CEO of Sony. He said that the PlayStation 5, and Foxy Games UK, as well as Matt's Game, and shout out to him, we all covered this. He said that the PlayStation 5 was indeed a true next generation upgrade, and it would not be a PS4 Pro, basically saying that the upgrade is indeed necessary. So what do y'all have to say about that?
They're ready to crouch down and jump higher.
Mm-hmm.
Remember they said that they were ready.
Where did you get that news? Where did you get that news from?
From me, thank you.
I thought you said Mads. Did you say?
No,
Mads?
I said shout out to Mets.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said you got it from Mads. And I say what?
You got that cutthroat mentality.
It's happening again. You mean I'm being discredited again right on here?
Nah, it's a shout out to Mads because we all covered it.
Well, as soon as I've done all the talking on it in the video, everyone should go before me.
Okay. Shout out to Foxy Games UK, or should I say Foxy Tech UK.
Foxy and Insider Tech UK.
There you go.
I'll just take Foxy Games UK, thank you.
Nah, Foxy Insider UK.
So what about this? I haven't heard anything really.
You gonna play the damn Switch on?
Let's put this this way. From what my understanding, specs wise, it is gonna be a little bit more, like how your boy Craig would put it, a little bit more better than the PS4 Pro in terms of performance and graphic fidelity. It's not gonna be something that's gonna be generational bounds and leaps. It's gonna play better, perform better. That's all I get.
They will be generational. It will. It will. If the PS4, if the Pro hadn't released, yeah, then it would definitely be seen by everybody on the planet who's interested as a next generation console. Because we've had a half step in the Pro, and if anyone who bought the Pro, then they will see it as not quite the next generation leap because they've already had half the generation already early.
Yeah,
but it's going to be more than double the power of the Pro, though. I tell you that now.
So we're looking at better GPU than even the X.
Oh yeah.
Oh, most definitely. That's
okay. I'm good with that. Just give me a good CPU. That's all.
The CPU will be the thing that will help it.
I wouldn't worry about the CPU.
Yeah, what I'm saying. CPUs are gonna be fine. Really, it's gonna be pretty good.
You're gonna get 60 frames per second gaming. Yeah. I can't say you're gonna get it at native 4K in every case, but you're definitely gonna get 60.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and obviously you guys already know backwards compatibility is going to be a big thing, so that's not really anything changing whatsoever. x86 by default. For those now, some people, and I can't believe I had to do that in my video where I had to explain that for the PlayStation 3, but some people didn't understand why PS3 wasn't on the list for backwards compatibility. The PS3 uses a completely different architecture.
They use the cell processor.
Yeah, that cell processor is not like your traditional PC, which is x86. That's why it's easier for games to get created for PS4 and Xbox One. And you notice how games, we don't wait as long as we did for like we did last gen for games.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
So
Ryan Landis gets quote of the night. His favorite memories of the SNES was the features.
Oh my god!
Got it for the robot and shit. There you go.
You just like pressing the start button. That's it. You didn't want to play the game. Just the feature. Just the one feature of pressing the start button.
That's it. Power button. Put the cartridge in. Let's game.
I know someone who plays Mario Kart. I know someone who plays Mario Kart on their Switch. Right. I had to tell them off the other day. I said, "What are you doing?" They got it on automatic acceleration and automatic steering. I goes, "What's the point in playing it?"
Yeah. Oh Lord. And the last topic I got for you guys before we wrap this up, are these systems future proofed?
I know that well, it depends. You see, I made a video saying PS5 is future proof, but
I know.
You see, the thing is, future proof, people take future proof too literally. I meant it figuratively. Future proof meaning that this will be the only console you have to buy for a decade. Or maybe a decade and a half because of the cloud implementation in the system. Like it's going to have cloud assisted chips inside the console so that the lag is not a problem. Latency is not going to be a problem. Right?
Foxy, you're right. I think that, and I've been saying this too, this coming generation, I don't think we're going to see a big difference in terms of graphics and performance between the two consoles. I don't think we're going to see that. I think they're going to be pretty on par with each other, and it's going to come down to the games. That's what
and services. The real war next gen is going to be who has the better implementation of cloud. And before people throw their someone told me off the same pacifier the other day because I'm British, but actually I lived 8 years in America, so some words like grapes and diapers I picked up in America. Okay, because I lived in America before I had a kid. I had no need to say the nappies instead of diapers when I was living here. But anyway, before people throw their pacifier out of the window, right? People keep confusing cloud streaming with cloud assisted gaming. They are two very different things. Streaming is you don't own the game. It's being streamed to you like a two-way signal, and you are just reacting to the server's reacting to your button prompts. That is game streaming. Game assisted cloud is you own the game. And it's just adding more quality to the game while you're connected to the internet. If your internet was to shut down while you're playing the game, it'll just revert back to how it would have on the hardware. In other words, meaning you won't get the extra explosions, you won't get the extra building damage. You won't get
the water in Sea of Thieves is cloud assisted.
Yeah, very much.
See, there you go. So, but the hardware can do that water without the cloud.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you play PlayStation 5 games, when you play PS5 games, right? If your internet fails you while you're playing a cloud assisted game, you wouldn't even know. It's just when the building explodes in the battlefield, whatever number, right? It's not going to have so many parts exploding as it would as if it was attached to the cloud. It's not going to. It doesn't mean I can't play the game because my internet's down. No, it means you're not going to get the same experience as somebody who's having it cloud assisted at that time. That's all.
Okay, definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, anybody else y'all want to talk about? I think we pretty much destroyed every topic that was going on here.
Let me say one more thing about PS5.
Go right ahead.
That's already mentioned in everywhere else on video and social media.
Foxy exclusive, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's not because this is. I said this before the Pro came out. Like this is not even new, but it's going to carry forward to the PS5. Autonomous enhancements to your games, meaning Like Sony they've got a patent out already since even before the Pro released, where developers can swap out assets on the fly, even while you're playing. You could be playing a game like, say, an RPG, right? And you're playing the Pro version on your PS5. The developer doesn't even have to make you sit through the update anymore with this new technology. You could be playing it, and if they are updating it as you're playing it, if coincidentally they happen to be doing it at that exact time that you're playing it, like you won't even know it's happening. It's just going to happen, and you're going to see assets change in the game. Like it's going to go from those 1080p assets to 4K assets, or whatever resolution they choose to change the assets to. They can do it on the fly now, meaning while the game is live. Isn't that amazing?
That is crazy.
Yeah. All I know is if I see buffering streams like I see for YouTube videos on my consoles, I'm coming after Foxy's neck. That's all I got to say.
I think we'll.
Well, you know what? No, listen. You might get one stutter, like when a game streams, when you play Halo and it streams in the next set of graphics, and you get that one little stutter.
All right, so every stutter will be one headache for you.
No, bro. I don't know. Wait, I don't know why you're twisting what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this:
I'm just playing.
While the game is live, they can on the fly implement new assets, right? And if there is any disruption, it's probably going to be a tiny little stutter that you get in games already.
Yeah, and I was joking, saying that every stutter that these little things will happen will be a headache for you.
yeah, I know. But the problem is that the problem is there are idiots that are going to take you seriously, and then they're going to come in my chat and chat shit to me. You know what I mean? You got to be careful.
Man. Nah, ain't nobody doing that, bro. Ain't nobody going.
Nah, you don't know who's doing it already. I'm getting idiots having a go at me for playing Forza Horizon 4.
Oh God.
Yo,
oh God.
Yo, don't worry about it, Fox.
No, I'm not worried, but you read that there is a problem with some people's brains out there that you just got to be careful what you say, because you can say something and then they'll say you claimed it.
Yeah.
And you're a liar when you didn't.
And you know what I gotta say to those certain individuals right here and right now? There's a thing called reality, there's a thing called life, and there's another thing called social interaction with other human beings.
Hey.
Learn.
That's too big of a word. Stop.
Yeah, that's too big, man.
Learn to use that, and you will obtain the highest achievement.
You be triggering people with big words too. I'm just like,
Ryan.
Yeah.
I made a video and it said rumor in the video title, and on Twitter it said rumor that PlayStation 5's code name is Erebus. I wasn't the only one. Loads of people made that video. But you know what? When it turned out to be just a code name for the Unreal Engine 4 for Fortnite, people were calling me out, telling me, you don't know nothing about PlayStation 5. I knew you didn't have insiders, even though I said it was a rumor and everyone else was reporting it.
I'll share a funny story with you. This is involving.
It doesn't matter what you say, bro. Go on.
Nah, this involving Spider-Man. There was a rumor going around that Spider-Man, Sony was going to lose the rights to Spider-Man, supposedly. And this grown-ass man who claimed he didn't care about Spider-Man, right? He stopped my channel for quite some time. He came to my video when I covered it. I was like, yeah, it's going around that Sony could possibly lose the Spider-Man license. But I'm like, I don't believe this is a rumor, right? Here we go. One less exclusive for PlayStation. I'm like, dickhead, it's a rumor. Second of all, it's not involved in the game.
Problems. I'm sorry. I got a lot of sympathy and empathy and whatever for people who suffer from mental health issues, right? But a lot of these people that are on Twitter and talking shit, they got health problems. They got mental health problems.
Yeah.
Bro, Foxy is simple. They need social interaction with other individuals other than the ones in the virtual space of internet. They need to go out and talk to other people. Stop being so far up.
Carlos, don't be putting them on other people in the real world, bro.
I know.
Dude, I don't want to talk to nobody next time.
Let them stay in the room.
No,
let them stay in their box room.
Shit will love. Everybody's going to terrify.
No, you might as well listen. It's simple. If you don't want to talk to the person, yes, how you doing? Oh, okay, bye. That's as simple as it is. But on social internet, these dudes will follow you to the nitty gritty. Like, you got people that will just, even if you put a #1 as a comment. They're right already. Why are you putting up #1 for? Like,
Carlos is sending out all the cellar dwellers into the world, bro.
No.
Hell no.
come embrace me, cellar dwellers. Come on, embrace me. I will
No.
gladly
Cellar
take all
Oh,
your
no.
opinions.
Let's end this show for y'all. Best sure I get a shot. Y'all crazy as hell. Fucking take out Carlos Constantine style. Like, hey, buddy, you got a light? Blah. No,
Hey, buggy. But all jokes aside, though, man, like it's really not that serious, people. It's just video games. Don't take it to heart. Enjoy gaming. And if you're an Xbox fan, enjoy your games. If you're a PlayStation fan, enjoy your games. If you're a Switch or Nintendo fan, enjoy your games. If you are a damn PC gamer elitist, enjoy your game. Overall, gamer by choice, not by trend, man.
There you go. Carlos Fernandez. That was his outro, right? Okay.
Yep.
Go right ahead, Mr. Messiah. Go ahead.
Oh, enjoyed it. Appreciate coming on. And yeah, great panel, great topics. And yeah, just keep playing the games, people. I'm trying to outfit my ship on Elite Dangerous right now, but I appreciate it. Good time.
Okay. Go right ahead, Ian.
Yeah, this was Ian, and it was fine to be with real gamers. So, yeah, play your games, everybody.
All right. Jay Fonzarelli.
Yeah, you can catch me at Jay Fonzarelli on YouTube and also Twitter. I don't want none of the weirdos following me anymore, though. So
They're going to follow you because you said that now.
Yeah, they're after you.
Not subscribe to the notion that, you know, or if you aren't in this hobby for the games, that's not your top priority, please unsub and unfollow. Thank you.
Okay. Foxy Games UK. Go right ahead, my brother.
Thank you, bro. Just like Fonzarelli said, all the social awkward people who are socially awkward, please leave my channel alone. Don't come talk to me on Twitter. I'm just not interested. Everyone else, though, you're welcome. And follow Foxy Games UK and on Twitter, Foxy Games _UK, and subscribe to Foxy Games. And of course, I'll keep delivering the news as long as I am able to breathe on this planet we called Earth. Goodbye. Oh, and play games, not corporations.
I'll say you missed your tagline. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so very, very much for joining us. Episode 30. We made it to 30 episodes. RGT. This was by far one of my favorites. This was absolutely great. You guys were amazing. Thank you guys so much for everybody who showed up. Shout out to Nancy in the chat, Ash and Luca, Forte, everybody, even the new faces that I've seen. 160 people were watching, ladies and gentlemen. So that is a new high. Thank you guys so very, very much.
Is that top viewing?
Yes, sir. That was one of my top viewers for this channel.
Congrats, man. Congrats. You can only go up, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And I want to add to what Foxy said. Play games, not UIs.
And if not, there's always some Jergens in the corner of the
Oh
cabinet.
no, he said play games, not you. Stupid.
Man.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. You can check out everybody's channels here. Definitely go support them. Great guys, great individuals, great insight, all of them. And yeah, just a great show. Thank you guys so very, very much. We will see you guys next week.
And remember, you're gonna love us.
And play games, not the internet.
Shout out to Titanfall Princess, man.
Yeah, shout out to Nancy because we love Nancy. We'll definitely get on here next show if she's up for it. All right, and yes, we will show up, unlike some people.
Play games, not the internet. Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, use some Jergens, god damn it.
Play games, not controllers. There you go.
If all you want to do is chat with friends, then pick up your cell phone.
No, God, I'm in this now. Y'all crazy.